Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. The protester.
Dark Exodus.
Open your mind.
You know.
Yeah, X.
You know.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand? Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
Exodus, dark Exodus, dark Exodus, dark Exodus.
And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Popular Thought Series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you Negroes knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about exceptions. Y'all know the saying, the exception is not the rule. It actually confirms the rule. So we're going to talk about it tonight. As you can see the title, right? You can see the title, Arguments Based Off Exceptions. But y'all know before we get started, I always start the stream off with thanking you good folks, the good folks who hang out in here, and the good folks who hang out over here. Because I understand, man, you don't have to goddamn show up to these streams. You don't have to like these videos. You don't have to, brother Nick Taylor in the house. Might have to bring my brother up if he ain't working. I understand, man. You don't have to like these videos. You don't have to sub to this channel. You don't have to show up to these debates. You don't have to do none of that shit. All right? You don't have to share them. You don't have to do any of that. And you definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But you good folks, man, you choose to do so. You choose to do so, man. And I want y'all to know, man, that I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm appreciative for everything you do. All right? And I ain't just talking about the coins you drop on this platform. I'm talking about your participation. For those of you who have been following me for a while, I mean, y'all followed me when I had 5 subscribers. And now y'all still follow me. So I want you to know, man, I don't take you lightly. I never have, and I never will. You got my word on that. And I want you to know that I thank you. All right, Negroes? All right. So let's get at it. The reason why I wanted to talk about exceptions tonight is because often, and any of you brothers who want to come up, you know, we're gonna open it up early. We ain't gonna waste a lot of time. I'm not gonna give you a whole bunch of monologue and shit. If you want to come through, you can. Y'all know what to do. It's properthought at yahoo.com. That's properthought, one word, no caps, at yahoo.com. The reason why I wanted to talk about exceptions tonight, because often we hear about these exceptions. Y'all have heard me talk about exceptions. And I'm a true believer that the exceptions are not the rule. They actually confirm the rule. Y'all remember me telling someone a while back that I guess we were talking about these old mamas, which we often do. And I was saying, well, you have people out there who will say, I know someone who came from a baby mama and they were one of 9 and their mother smoked crack. And they grew up to be a astronaut. They grew up to be a molecular biologist. Okay? Now that's a one-off. That's a one-off. Why? Because we both, all of us here know that chances are, if you're a mother of 9 and you're a crackhead, chances are your kids aren't going to become molecular biologists. And if one does, it's exceptional. Why do you think we give a round of applause whenever someone tells their story about, you know, they grew up poor, or eating roaches, The mama didn't have a husband. They lived in an abandoned building for 10 years of their life, and they grew up to become a CEO of a company. Why do you think we applaud that? Because that is an exceptional feat, meaning an exception. Because most people who grow up in that type of environment is not going to turn out to be a molecular biologist or a CEO or a doctor or a lawyer. The stats are against them. Okay? The stats are totally against them. But we often take these exceptions and we use these exceptions to not just drive home our narrative, our point, our theme. We use that to make our argument. For instance, we often get up here and we talk about families, right? We talk about man, woman, child, right? And we talk about how statistically, if you have a father in your life and you come from a solid home, stable home with stable parents, you have a better chance in life. You have a better chance at becoming something, doing something with your life. And you'll have a person come out and be like, well, I know somebody who they had their mother and their father and they still ended up going to prison. There you are, an exception where someone's trying to make it the rule. Now, I know y'all looked at the thumbnail, right? And y'all saw a lady with nails that's 3 feet long. You saw this guy here with 14 kids. You see a pearl blue-eyed black girl. And you also see a black family who had one of their kids was white. Now, you can probably find multiple people that are like these people that are on the thumbnail, but we must acknowledge that most of the time these people are going to be the exceptions. So we shouldn't be basing our arguments off of these outliers, these one-offs. But see, that's the thing. When we get up here and talk about particular things, people will say, not all. Y'all are finding the exceptions. Y'all are finding the outliers. Y'all are finding the extreme cases. But they don't believe that, man. They don't believe that. There's too much of it. There's too many people talking about it. It can be seen anywhere. The exceptions are the shit you cannot find. The exceptions are the shit that they are elusive. They're not readily available. You can get on your computer right now. You can get on your phone right now and Google any type of BS. Any type of BS. And you will see it come in droves. Because a lot of this BS is not the exception. A lot of it is the rule. Now, if you go outside the BS, that's where you find exceptions. That's where you find things that are exceptional. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay? I don't think that all of the things within Black society are bad, right? Now, you have brothers who will come up here and say that. I am not one of them. I believe that there lies certain pockets of Black society where things are really, really wrong, and it has an effect on the Black society as a whole, as a collective. Because many of these dysfunctional things, many of these backwards things, many of these things that make us just want to cry when we see them being done by black people, has a tendency to reflect badly on other black people. But people will say, "Oh man, you know that's just an outlier. That's just the exception, you know, et cetera, et cetera." And I think a lot of times when we talk about the exceptions, right? When we talk about people who come from nothing, build themselves into something, do something great, we look at them and we say, well, this person is exceptional, right? Because they came from nothing, because they maybe had a dysfunctional childhood. They may have had bad parents or a bad parent. They may have went to horrible schools. They may have lived in horrible neighborhoods. And somehow they was able to grow up and become something, to become great. But I say again, these people are the exceptions. They are the outliers. They are the outliers. You understand? They're the outliers. Because we know people who come from those type of environments have a tendency to, number one, repeat the cycle mostly. Number two, sometimes end up worse than what they came from, not better. Now, people will have you believe that these exceptions are all over the place. People will have you believe that you can come from shit and somehow evolve and blossom into sugar. But they know that's not true. Basing an argument off of an exception. Y'all have heard it many of times. Y'all have heard these people say, well, I know somebody, you know, they went to prison and did 20 years. And when they came out, they became owner of a company. I know somebody, this woman, she got 7 kids and now she worked in a corporate office. I know somebody, they used to smoke crack and now they're a CEO. But what they forget to tell you is that they know that one person. Tell them to name 10. Tell them to name 100. Tell them to name 1,000. They can't do it. And it's always somebody saying, well, I know somebody. I know somebody. Not I know a group of people. Not I know a list of people. Not I know 10 people. No. That one person. And usually it's not even someone they know. It's someone they know of. There is a difference. There's a difference. When you know someone, that means you have interacted with this person, you've talked to this person, you've met this person in real life, not on this goddamn 8 by 6 rectangle here. Not here. Not on this 8 by 6 rectangle. Now, people will lead you to believe that they know the people inside this rectangle. But in reality, we don't. We don't know these fucking people. We don't know each other, Negroes. We don't. We know what we see. We know what we hear. But as far as I know, all you Negroes could be mass murderers. I could be one. I could smoke crack. You could smoke crack. We don't know anything. But what we do know is numbers. What we do know is statistics. What we do know is data. We know that. Now, I know, a lot of times all we have is the white man's data, because that's all we got until we get some black man's data. But we know the statistics, don't we? We know the numbers. Yeah, we can fudge them here and there, back and forth, 60% as opposed to 70, 50 as opposed to 52, 10 as opposed to 7. Yeah, we can fudge the numbers, but we are all aware of the data. And when you have data in front of you and it says 80% of people do this, 90% of people do that, 75% of people do this, those lower numbers are the exception. 20% of something is the exception. Because y'all do realize that 20% is 1 out of 5. 25% is 1 out of 4. Even 30%, 3 out of 10. So those things are the exception. The 80%, the 70%, the 85%, the 75%. That is the fucking rule. Yeah, that's the rule. Whether we like it or not. If someone says 70% of people do something, that means most people. And most is what? Anything over 50%, right? So 51% means most people. 52% means most people, right? If you got 52% ownership of a company, you own most of it, do you not? If you own 70% of that company, you damn sure own most of it, right? But what I think often happens with us, whenever there is an exception to be shown, to be proven, we want to ride that exception. But you know us black folks, we selective. We will ride that selection if it proves our narrative, if it proves our theme. Because we'll turn around and say, well, 25% of people have a tendency to go off and become millionaires. So you can't say nobody goes off and becomes a millionaire. And I like to give them that argument. I'll give them that argument all day long. But this same person, when you say, well, 25% of children, or less than 25% of children in the 4th grade are reading on grade level. And people will say, well, that don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean they can't read. That doesn't mean they can't write. That doesn't mean. But that same person just got done telling you how 25% of people that do something means something. But if you put that 25% into another context, they're telling you how it means nothing. So it's all about themes, folks. Themes. And when you're talking about making arguments based off of exceptions, you're basically conceding the point. You're conceding the fact that only 10% of people do this. You're conceding that point. While you try to explain how that point makes the difference, even though it's only 10%, even though it's only 20%, even though it's only 15%. So I think we get lost in these exception arguments. Because when we talk about exceptions, what are we talking about? We're talking about numbers. We're talking about data. I go back to the out of wedlock births. Those numbers hover 70%, 75%. If you're going like the inner cities, it could be as much as 80%. So what does that mean? That means 20%, 25% of kids being born to Black society, guess what? They may have a solid family base that they come from. They may come from a mother and a father, a husband and a wife. But still, it is the exception. It is not the rule, especially when it comes to Black folks. Now, I've had people tell me and write me, say, well, it's not that high anymore, X. I think it's 60% now. I think it's 65% now. I think it's 58% now. Doesn't matter to me. It's still most. It's still most. If I own 58% of the stock in your company, Negro, I own most of your company. There's no denying that. You can say, well, I own 42%. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But I still own most of it if I own 52%. And I damn sure own most of it if I own 60 or 70. The amount you own is the exception, that 25%. That's the exception. You can't even say you have full ownership of that company if you only own 20% of it. Right? Right? So what are we trying to say here? What am I getting at here? What I am getting at is this. Usually, and brother Nick Taylor is correct, when you're talking about dysfunctional Black pathology, right? When we talk about the people who defend the bad behavior, when we talk about the people who defend, what's good, Lady Shonda? I see you up there. You can come up if you want to, Lady Shonda, because you might have a lady perspective on this, a lady perspective. But when we talk about Black pathology, especially the dysfunctional Black pathology, those are the people who usually, like Brother Taylor said, defend it. They defend the black pathology because they want to believe that the exception is the rule. That's what they want to believe. Now, we are people who always want hope. We are people who are looking to buy hope. And there's no shortage of people out there willing to sell us hope. Because once they sell us hope, they can sell us other crap that symbolizes said hope. There's a reason for this. There's a reason for this, man. Because, see, long as we make our arguments off of the exceptions among us, that is hope. That is the spring of hope that shoots eternally, right? If we base our arguments off of exceptions, we can say mediocrity is okay. Subpar is okay. Right? Especially when the bulk of something is mediocre. The bulk of something is subpar. Because if we got 80% of subpar things, 80% of mediocre things, we can always say, well, you know, that 20% means it can be done. And that's true. I'll give you that argument that 20% does mean that it can be done. But what it also means is that statistically, it's less likely if only 20% of it is being done. I'll go back to young black children. They say 20% of young black children are reading on grade level by the 4th grade. Doing math, writing, etc. 20%, 4th grade. It drops significantly by the time they get into the 8th grade. I think it drops to like 15%. Now, people will tell you, oh, well, you know, that 20%, at least they're doing it. But what about that other 80? That other 85? That doesn't bother us? That 80% are not up to snuff, not up to speed? They lack 80%, but no one cares because there's 20% that actually can do it? What sense does that make? And I think many of us, we have rolled these exceptions like a freaking horse. The only thing that will convince us is if it's like 100%. If someone said 100% of black children could not read on their grade level by the 4th grade or by the 8th grade, then and only then would we believe it. And even then, people would not believe it especially if it's coming from, you know, the white man's data. But what people don't understand is the white man's data is all we got. What are we supposed to use? We supposed to use the exceptions that's in our neighborhood as if they are indicative or representative of the body black in a whole? But that's what we do, right? We say, oh, that's the white man's data. I know like 3 people who came from poverty and lived in abandoned buildings and went to college. They know 3 people. There's 40 some odd million black folks in America. They know 3 of them. Yeah, they know 3 of them. So that's it. That's all done. Right? It's all done because of those 3 people they know out of 40 some odd million. They didn't even say 30 or 300 or 3,000. They said 3. Well, that's it. You got it. But this is where we are. Are we not? This is where we are. And Brother Taylor is right. The world is bigger than your hood, your street, your block, your town, your county, your state, the freaking continent you live on, Negro. I don't know why we become so encapsulated thinking that that old ran down goddamn hood that you live in is the whole world. That's not the whole world. That entire state is not the whole world. The East Coast is not the whole world. The West Coast, the Midwest, none of that is the real world. Or the whole world, I should say. It's not the whole world where you live. You may not even realize it, but your black ass may be an exception. You may be an exception. Especially if you're somebody who's doing something with yourself. Because I look back at the people that I grew up with. A lot of those dudes ain't doing shit. A lot of those dudes still live with their mama. Don't own a car. Don't own a house. Don't own property. Nothing. And they're my age. And the crazy thing is, I don't look at myself as an exception. But I grew up in an exceptional household. My father was always in my life. My parents were married like 56 years when my father died. And I was one of the few people that I knew when I was coming up that actually had a father. They made fun of you because you had a father. Oh, you got a dad. Oh, so you can't do this. Oh, you got a dad. You can't go nowhere. Made fun of you because you had a father. You know, a father who gave you chores. A father who took your black ass to work with him. A father that expected shit to be done around that house. Cut that grass, take out that trash, feed those animals. Wash my truck, Negro. a father who did that. So guess what? You weren't always out there doing things with other people. You had a curfew. You had a time to be home. You couldn't just go off and do whatever you wanted to do. You had a time to be back at the crib. Yeah, I had one of those. And I look back now, 35, 40 years back, all those dudes who made fun of us brothers who had fathers, guess what? Most of them broke. Some of them dead. Some of them in the penitentiary. Been there since we was in our 20s. Some of them still living at mom's house. Some of them don't own automobiles. Don't own homes. Working meager fucking jobs. But these were the people who made fun of you because you were living under the guise of an exception. Because back then, it was an exception to have a father in the house. Trust me. Out of all the 20, 30 guys that we kind of hung out, only 2 of us, no, wait a minute, 3 of us had fathers living in the house with us. And it's crazy because as we grew up as teenagers, those three of us, we had cars first. When we got to be 16, we were the only 3 of us that had cars. We moved out of our parents' houses earlier. Had better jobs. What else? Lived in nicer places. And I look at us now, because I talk to these brothers now, and all of them brothers are doing well. All of them brothers are doing well. They either own a business or have a really good career. But you go back to the people who made fun of us having fathers. Like I said, a lot of them, they don't have shit going on. Some of them are dead. Some of them are in prison still. Been there ever since we were like in our 20s, like I said. And even though we grew up in that environment, we never thought that it was the norm, because it wasn't the norm. It wasn't. We could see that it wasn't the norm by the people that we were around, by how people made fun of us because we actually had a father living in the house that we had to listen to and do what he said and do shit around the house and go to work with him. But we realized then, and we talk about it now, that those situations were the exception. They weren't the rule. It wasn't most people. It wasn't most of the brothers we knew. That's just what it is. Now you fast forward now, 30, 40 years, now that we have internet, and Twitter, and Facebook, and TikTok, and IG, and of course, the 8x6 rectangle. known as YouTube. I got to measure it one day. Well, I guess it depends on what size your screen is, because actually it's 8x6 here, but on my big screen, it's a lot bigger. So I guess it all depends on what size your monitor is. But anyway, fast forward to the world of internet. We love using exceptions as the rule, don't we? Especially when it comes to trying to cover some of our failures. Because as long as we can point out that one person we know, we can always say, well, it ain't as bad as you're saying it is. But you ever listen to the people who say this? Notice they never say, I was the exception. You notice that? They say they know the exception, but they never say, I am the exception. They never say, I grew up with a crackhead mom and it was 10 of us and I became a molecular biologist. They never say, I used to smoke crack and now I'm a CEO. They never say, I did 30 years in prison and now I own my own corporation. You notice that? You notice how they never use I. Why? Because it's not them. It's probably not a lot of people that they freaking know. They even know that the person that they're talking about is what? The exception. But when you fall back on the exceptions, that does give you hope, right? That gives you reason to believe. That gives you reason to say, I still have a chance. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But I don't believe exceptions win arguments. You cannot tell me about the exception of something when I'm telling you 80% of it is this. When I'm telling you 75% of it is this. You can't now tell me that 125% means something. You cannot. Those are outliers. All right? Those are outliers. And I know we don't like it. Because, see, we want to put ourselves into the exception. Because, see, if we put ourselves into the exception, that means we are what? Exceptional. Right? So we got to connect ourselves to these exceptions. We have to. Because we don't want to be connected to the rule. If 80% of people fail and 20% of people succeed, of course we're going to align ourselves with the 20 people who succeed, right? Even though when you're talking about an 80-20 split, you are at a statistical disadvantage. You are at a statistical disadvantage. if you have an 80% chance of failing, those aren't good numbers. Those aren't good numbers. Now, that 80% likelihood of you failing can cause you to strive harder, work harder, get on your grind, and maybe you can become that 20%. But you are at a statistical disadvantage going in. There's no denying it. There's no debating it. Let's talk about black folk. Let's talk about the black folk who was raised by two parents. Let's talk about the black folks who had a solid father in their life. How many of those people who came out of those situations failed, flopped, went to jail, became dope addicts, robbed and steal, did life in the penitentiary? Of course, there are some, but something tells me that number is really small. Because, see, they are the exception. They are the exception. Because most people who come out of those environments, guess what? They become solid people. They do solid things. They raise solid families of their own. They have solid careers, solid jobs, solid state of mind. Pull up the prison stats if you want to. I ain't pulling them up for you, goddammit. Google them your goddamn selves. Pull up the prison stats. Don't you know 65% of people doing life terms came from baby mamas? 60% of rapists, single mamas. I do believe that about 70% of the people in prison came from baby mamas. But don't listen to me. Like I said, go look for yourself. Because unlike other folks, I ain't posting no goddamn links for your ass. You don't believe what I say? Look it up yourself. And if I'm wrong, write me and tell me, X, you wrong. It's only 30%. I'll come right on here and be like, you know what? I was wrong, man. But I know that email's not coming. It's just not coming. Okay. Go ahead. Brother Nick, I'm going to go ahead and send you the link. Brother Supreme as well. And anybody else who wants to come through, you know what to do. Negroes. You know what to do, Negroes. Because I want to talk about this. I got time tonight. I'm energized now, but I'm back from my New York trip. Had a little jet lag today, so I kind of sat around and didn't do shit. Well, I did, drink some beer and smoke cigars, but that doesn't really count because I do that regardless. I'm going to do that regardless. But I didn't do too much today. I actually had some work today that I could have done, but I didn't do it. I called my main man and I let him go, pick the unit up for me. And I guess I'm going to take a look at it tomorrow. If I don't feel like it tomorrow, I ain't doing it tomorrow either. I'm just saying. I ain't feel like doing shit today, y'all. Oh, man, I'm tired. I am tired out this motherfucker. So what do y'all think? And Brother Supreme, I agree. Exception is how the community breeds its offspring, as fish have hundreds of spawns due to many not going to survive successfully. The community breeds the same. The exceptions are the goal. Yeah. We spoke about this today, brother. Go ahead and have 100 because only 3 gonna survive anyway. charge those other 97 to the game, right? Rolling the dice. I've said that many a times, especially when it comes to these old mamas. Don't get me started on them. So they go ahead and have 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 kids by 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 folks. She's rolling the dice. Hopefully one of these motherfuckers become a tech genius or a millionaire or an NBA player or something. He's rolling the dice, boy. Hopefully one of them become a millionaire and take care of my black ass. Hopefully one of them is the exception out of these all 15 I got. Brother Taylor.
Go ahead and finish your thought. You was like, I'm going to call you Butter because you was on a roll. Go ahead and finish that.
No, I'm saying, they have 5 and 6 and 7. They rolling the dice, man. Well, let me see. Maybe this motherfucker come out be an NBA player. Let me see. Maybe she come out to be a goddamn R&B singer. Let me see. Maybe he grew up to be a tech genius. Jeff Bezos, a goddamn.
I got a question for
Mark
you.
Zuckerberg.
I got a question about your about that chick rolling the dice. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are the odds you think she's trying to foster what she want them to become? Are you trying to help, or are you just sitting back on your ass hoping while you shaking the dice?
No, because see, it has to happen by happenstance. All right. Because let's be honest here, right? When you talk about someone coming from meager means, right? Let's talk about football players, NFL players, baseball players, and the like, right? We know many of them come from meager means, right? They come from poverty. They come from despair. They come from, not all of them, but some of them, that's where they come from. They come from nothing. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Someone comes into their life and makes a difference. Someone comes into their life and not only make them the exception, make them exceptional. Right? And usually that person is not the person who gave birth to them, not the person who they live with. All right? It's not that person. It's usually someone else. It's someone from outside of that home, someone from outside of that society. Usually, especially when you're talking about kids coming from baby mamas and shit. Because notice, if a kid becomes an athlete, a professional athlete, right? 9 times out of 10, if he's a professional athlete and he came from, poverty, he came from the projects, he came from the ghetto, a lot of times he doesn't have a father. There is no father. All right? There is no father for those kids. So if there's no father for those kids, it's some man some coach, some teacher, somebody who came into this kid's life, gave him counsel, instruction, guidance, direction, training. All right? You know it's not his old mammy who did this. All right? Now, mama standing there on draft day. Yeah. Mama standing there on draft day.
Oh yeah.
But you know it was not mama who made this kid exceptional.
No.
And he is exceptional because what people don't know about when you talk about the NFL, the NBA, Major League Football, Major League Baseball, and the like, you only 1 out of 750,000 people make that.
Yep.
All right? 1 out of 750,000 people. That alone, the fact that you got in, make you an exception. Okay?
Yes,
the
sir.
fact that you got in there makes you an exception. But you will have people say that, oh, you can easily get into the NBA. Oh, you can easily get into the NFL. Oh, you can easily get into Major League Baseball.
No, you can't.
And that's BS.
Yeah.
That's an example of people making an argument based off of exceptions. Because if you 1 out of 750,000, my brother, let me tell you, you are
in rare company.
Yes, you are. But see, if we hang on to these exceptions, we can forebode the rule. And that's something we like to do. We like to hang on to the exception so we can forebode the rule. All right? What the hell? Dog barking. Somebody must be here. Yeah. We always run to the exception. I told you, because you know me, I get on these old mamas. And I've had people actually come and be like, oh, well, X, you don't know that, X, because I know somebody, they had 8 kids and they smoked crack. And one of their kids grew up to be a molecular biologist. And I'm like,
Well, okay, one out of eight. 1 out of 8.
1 out of 8. What are the other 7 doing? And
Nothing.
how many of those do you know?
1.
They don't say I know 5, I know 10, I know. No, they know somebody, meaning one person. So that alone lets you know that we hang on to these exceptions to cover abject failure. To make it seem like failing, it's possible, but that 1 out of 500 people do succeed. So that other 499 people who failed, let's just disregard them. It doesn't mean nothing, even though you're at a statistical disadvantage. I was talking about having a father in the house. I was one of those dudes who grew up with my father, right?
Same here.
Grew up with my old man. And when I was younger, growing up in New York, people teased you about having a father. Like,
Same thing in Detroit.
You got a dad. You got a dad. You can't do this. Oh, you got a dad. You got a curfew and all this kind of nonsense. But guess what? All of those people who talked that shit when we were younger, told you some of them dead, in jail,
or
on
doing
drugs,
nothing.
living with mama. So who gets the last laugh?
We
In
do.
the end, we do.
They call you on the phone. You hear the boiler firing up in the background.
That goddamn boiler, man.
I ain't never gonna forget that.
What's the boiler doing in your room?
Oh,
I live in the basement. I live in the basement. Oh, I see somebody wants to come up and Mala X? Malia X? I can't really see. You know, I'm old and shit. The computer's at a distance.
Maya.
Let me bring it up here. Hold up. Let me bring the chat up here.
Well, in Spanish, 2 L's is pronounced like a Y. I don't know
Oh,
if she
so
pronounced it.
Maya X. Yeah, you can
I
come
don't
through.
know if she does it Spanish.
Come on through. Mala X. I believe.
No,
yeah.
you can't call in. There ain't no phone.
I ain't got my
Here's
phone.
your phone.
I ain't got my phone lines hooked up tonight, Mala X, but you can come through. Hit me with an email. It's prophetofthought@yahoo.com. That's prophetofthought, one word, no caps, @yahoo.com. Oh, let me see.
Why
Go
you
ahead.
doing that? Let me. Hey, nothing on the subject. Just something else. There's something.
Okay.
I got a message today
Mhm.
from a guy. I go maybe on his show twice a year. You know what I mean? But we cool away from here.
Mhm.
He got this new deal that he didn't put out for people that he's going to invite up on his, just like I'm here now.
Mhm.
He says, if you're mobile, don't ask for no link. He said you need to be stationary and you need to be on a real system, and we need to see your face, and you need to have clear audio. He said, so if you're trying to come up from a mobile device, don't even ask for it. And people at first was, and then I had to think, but then for about 2 seconds, I'm like, no, wait a minute. It's his platform.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
He says, I want my viewers to have a quality show. And if you're borging in and out, you know what I'm saying? We hear the road noise, you driving, horns blowing,
Sound like
chicken
frying in the background.
Yeah. He said he won't let you on. But he prefaces that, and he said, and if you come on anyway, and I send it to you, he said that will be your first and your last time, because as soon as I hear all that stuff and Borgen cause you driving, he's blocked. And then people at first was like, that's pretty snooty. No, he wants a quality product for his viewers. What's wrong with asking that for a quality product for your viewers? What's wrong with that?
Absolutely. Like right now, I got the fucking train in the background of my shit.
Yeah, but ain't nothing you can do about an MF and train. I mean,
yeah, because I'm really close to the train. The train is like, shit, it's not even a half a mile from here.
Yeah,
man.
But ain't nothing. I mean, like if a helicopter flew over right now, I mean, what I'm gonna do? But I get what
the helicopter out of here.
Now I know you've seen the show and you talking to people. You may not have been involved with it, and you see the mobile device and they Borgen and everybody waiting on them to come back, and I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But anyway, I just want to say that before I forgot.
Yeah, because it is aggravating. You know, it's somewhat aggravating, especially if you're the only one. It's different if all 5 of y'all got bad.
Yeah, you can skip him or her. And come back around.
Yeah,
if it's to them.
Yeah, it's it's like this. It's like if you're on a bus, right, and y'all getting ready to go on a trip, and 99 people got to go to the bathroom, and one person's waiting on 99 people to go to the bathroom. It doesn't seem like a big deal. But if just one person got to go to the bathroom and 99 people are waiting on that one person, now it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem, guys.
And I have to think about it. I say he got a point. You know what I mean? But the thing is, ain't no law saying you got to go on his platform.
It's true.
That's true. I mean, he has to invite you up. He makes the rules, the stipulations, and I'm like, if they don't like it, just don't participate.
Yeah, bounce out. And
I was like, I like that. Well, he only got 40,000 subs. Why he being so snooty?
You only got
It's not snooty. How
yeah.
about what part of he want a quality product for his viewers that you didn't understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here we go again. It's either exceptions and norms, right?
Yeah.
But it's his platform. You know what I'm saying?
Very
It's
true.
his platform. But the criers, and of course, I had to look at he telling me, like I said, because me and him cool, he'd pick up the phone and call me. I realized that I only go on this show once or twice a year, but I talk to him on the phone at least once or twice a month. But he like, but the ones that cry are the ones that never participate.
Yeah.
You know, he said, like, it's my fault you don't have a computer. It's my fault you don't have a camera. It's my fault you don't have a microphone.
Don't have a microphone.
Right. That comes through clear. You know, it's my fault that, you know, that you're scared to show the break room of the company that you run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's like, no, that's not. And he said, but watch, the ones that do the less complain the most. The ones that participate the less complain the most. And he has a valid point.
See, those are those exceptions.
Yes.
Those 1 or 2 or 3 people who got a problem with what you do. Even though these 1, 2, 3 people, they never participate.
No.
They ain't trying to get on the panel. They
No.
ain't trying to do nothing, but they have a problem with it.
Right.
They have a problem with it. I mean, it's just, well, you know, the internet done turned people into a bunch of crazies anyway.
Yeah, but I had to think, and that's too. This is the same person away from the internet. The internet just gives them anonymity. And see, he's taking away that anonymity because you gotta have that, you gotta have a setup. He said, I don't give a damn what you got. He said, you need to be clear. You know, we need to be able to hear you. If you got a system that you can't mute when you're not talking and is feeding back through everything, then you're not coming on because you're spoiling the experience for the other 5 people on the panel and the thousands of people, because he got 40,000 subs and my 40,000. So I'm supposed to ruin the experience of my 40,000 for one exception. I'm so glad he put it to me like that, because it makes perfect sense. He said, now if you want hood garbage yelling at each other, whatnot over the, he said, you got the wrong channel. That ain't how we get down over here. You know, this ain't Boom Queequees. You know, this ain't Jeriquavius's, you know, Hot Minute and whatnot. That ain't how you get down.
Jeriquavius. What's good, brother KIT? You can come up too, sir, if you would like to. My brother, if you would like. But we've been joined by the Hood Servative. What's good with it, brother Hood Servative?
Not much, X. Can you give me like 2 seconds? I'm gonna come right back on the panel.
Okay. I think I hear some chicken frying in the background. I hear some chicken frying. I thought my man Supreme was gonna come up, but he probably working his shit.
Yeah, he says, like I said, I'm sitting here, I'm doing the boy. Got a I got to log. I'm logging tickets. Logging tickets. Got to get, you don't get paid till you get them tickets logged in.
Goddamn right. I know. I did something today. That's the only thing I did do today. Like, you know, I did some paperwork. I didn't do anything else, man. I was still kind of, I don't know. I was kind of dragging around from the drive yesterday, man. I
that heat just beating me down here. Late because it's the humidity more than anything, because you know we had the storms and you know all that other stuff, and now the sun come out and you know that humidity just just rips you to pieces. And we just had a couple of what looked like minor accidents to do today, but they were actually ball breakers, you know what I mean? And then get back to finish. I'm like, man, I gotta finish this damn stack of damn invoices before I can, because I don't like doing it on Friday. You can't do that on Friday. You can't do it. Monday and Friday, forget it. Not in the towing business.
Yeah, well, me, I don't work on most Fridays anyway. I'm probably going to have to do some work tomorrow because I was supposed to do some shit today and didn't do it. So now I'm going to have to freaking go do some work freaking tomorrow.
Oh, you want to talk about network and keep it techie? I dropped his link and everything to it's a big YouTuber, big tech YouTuber called Linus Tech Tips, LTT. And he got a store and he got millions of subscribers. And he just started this new thing because with this Windows 11 coming out where a lot of stuff ain't going to be compatible. And he made us a video, him and Anthony, that's his right-hand man, about is this the time to switch to Linux? And so I've been a sub of his forever. And so I hit him. I said, man, I got a Linux guru in my back pocket and whatnot, and this, and that, and this, and that. I mean, the odds of it happening, but if he do say, well, tell him to holler at me. So then I'm exposing Keep It Techie to a guy with went way over 1 million. So I can't remember how many subs he got, but he got a lot. He got a lot of them, boss. And as soon as you put Linus in, the first thing that pops up is this channel, Linus Tech Tips. He has 13.9 million subscribers.
Oh shit.
So is he big enough?
Yeah, he's big enough. He's big enough.
And that's what this was yesterday. This was yesterday I done that. I sent it to him. You know, so if he say, yeah, shoot, send him over. Then I'm a techie. You know, but don't forget about us little people, right?
Yeah, man. Well, let me get a shameless plug in before I go to Brotherhood Conservative.
Yes, sir.
Sunday, September 4th, Negroes. Y'all can catch me on Red Sings the Blues. I will be getting interviewed by Brother Red Sings the Blues, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I will be down there talking my usual Xavier shit. So come on down there. Check out Brother Red Sings the Blues. And while you're checking him out, go ahead and subscribe like I am. Hit the bell like I have, because Brother Red Sings the Blues actually does pretty good stuff. He covers a lot of things that are trending. And he also talks about a lot of the YouTube algorithmic stuff, you should say. Yeah, the algorithmic stuff, I'll call it. So get on down there, man, and check out Red Sings the Blues. And definitely check him out this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, because your man will be there. And y'all know I'm going to be down there talking shit. So come on down there and check out OX getting interviewed. And also, let me go ahead and put y'all on to something else. Let me see. That pulled up already, so y'all could see it. What the hell is it? Wait a minute. Damn, I punched in the wrong shit, y'all. Punch in the wrong shit, folks. But we've been joined by the Hood Conservative. What's good with it, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? And shout out to the other brother on the panel. Your voice sounds real familiar, but I can't remember your name. What's your name again, bro?
Who, me?
That's Brother Nick Taylor, man.
Nick Taylor.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I knew your voice did sound familiar. No, because you were saying how the guy was saying how he wanted to run his panels and all that, and I'm like, oh, I feel so attacked because I'm sitting in my car right now, like literally about to drive as we talk on this panel. But what's going on with you two guys,
No,
man?
that ain't my channel. That's his channel.
No, no, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, I do what. Hey, I tell him it's his house. I gotta wipe my feet before I go inside.
Facts, facts. But you guys were talking about this outlier concept, and the thing that really made me want to get on the panel is because immediately I went to the opposite end of the outliers, which is we love to grandstand on outliers on one hand, but then ignore the outliers on another hand that totally shatter what could be socially lucrative positions or narratives, like the police brutality narrative. Police brutality is not very common in America compared to most other nations, put it that way. And if you really want to go to it, actual bad police shootings in general are statistically low for our population density. And also, black people being killed by the police unlawfully is an outlier. But that's one of those things that we don't want to play around with.
Well, we're not going to do that because see, if you were to say, if anybody said what you said just now, brother Conservative, they would be accused of saying white supremacist talking points, right? Number one, they would be accused of downplaying police violence against black folks, and a whole host of other things. So no one's going to say that that is a minority or an outlier amongst black people, because see, if you say that, you are not going along with the theme of the police just want to kill all black folks. All police want to kill all black folks. Uh, when police leave the barracks, they looking for a black person to kill. So if it's not following that theme, people are never going to be like, well, that's right. According to the population, is X point percent that it happens. No, people need you to believe that the police are killing black folks in every city, in every town, in every state, every single day.
How do
All
we
right.
make it back? How do we make it to working back then? How many police cars did you drive past today?
Me,
Unknowingly. I mean, I know I drive. You can see the side of the sheriff's department from where my impound yard is. You can stand there. I can't. I mean, I ain't got the arm strength I used to throw and hit it with a rock, but it's right. I'm right next door to the sheriff's department, and somehow they miss me every day, right?
well, it's this is the
It's
thing.
it's
This
goofy.
this is the thing, right? When I first started this media stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
All we covered were police shootings. That
Mm-hmm.
when I started many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was at the Eric Garner rally. I was at the Tamir Rice rally. I was at the Jonathan Farrell rally. I was at a Trayvon Martin rally. I mean, we really covered this stuff. Ramali Graham rally. I was at Kamani Gray's rally. All these people, killed. I mean, this is all we did. This was back when T.P.O.T was this big old group, and it was like 9 of us and shit, and we would be like on the road. I'm talking, on the road going to these places,
Y'all like
right?
the storm chasers. Yeah.
Yes, right. We used to do that shit. That's like all we pretty much talked about was police shootings and killings in Chicago and things like that, that's all we talked about. If y'all go way back to the beginning of when T.P.O.T started, the very first like 10, 15 videos, that's all you're going to see. You're going to see shit about Eric Garner. You're going to see shit about Michael Brown. You're going to see shit about Ramali Graham. You're going to see shit about Sean Bell. You know, people that have been killed by the police.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I realize that people aren't getting killed by the police like every 5 minutes.
No.
People aren't getting killed by the police in every single city, every single state, every single town. Now, people will have you believe that,
But there's blacks dying at the hand of other blacks every single day.
Oh,
in
yeah.
these same places.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But black lives don't matter because the killer was a black person.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I used to talk about that stuff too, how they always talked about this, but they never talk about it when we do it. But go ahead, Brotherhood Servant.
No, I was going to jump into the FBI crime stats on interracial violence, right? The idea that we just sort of dealt with police as an institution. So let's move on to random white people. The idea that the average white person is somehow a physical threat to the average black person is a statistical outlier.
Oh,
because for the most part, crime is intraracial, meaning black people attack black people and white people attack white people. Like that deflection about black on black crime is true on the surface. However, when it comes to who's crossing the racial boundaries more often, according to the FBI crime stats, it is more likely that a black person will commit some kind of act of violence against a white person.
Correct.
Than opposite. Like by leaps and bounds, by our population densities, it's amazing that the contrast is, you know, in the media, you're supposed to be afraid of some boogeyman white person, but by the numbers, it's the opposite.
Yeah. It's pretty unlikely that some random white person is just going to walk up and shoot you. It's pretty unlikely. But it is very likely that some random black person may come up and shoot you. Okay? And before we go on, because I got some things I want to say about that, another shameless plug. I'll be doing some shameless plugs for you Negroes tonight. Some shameless plugs for you Negroes tonight. September 14th, I will be down with the good Dr. Dunbar. I'll be getting interviewed by the doctor September 14th. I believe that is 7:30, I believe. Yes. You'll be catching OX getting interviewed by other YouTubers. You might want to come down. Now, when I go down to the doc, I can't talk a lot of shit. You know, I got to be, you know.
You got to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah. I have to be professional and not use profanity. So catch me down there with the good doctor. And go down there and check the good doc out. Big Discussion 76 Science and Technology. Dr. Dunbar's a good dude, man. Y'all have seen him here on Ask the Doc a time or two. Go down there, man. Subscribe like I have subscribed. But damn, I need to hit the bell. Hit the bell like my ass didn't. But go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell. Check out the good doctor, man. You go down there, you absolutely positively are going to learn something. That's just a fact. All right. But catch me down there September 14th, getting interviewed by the good doctor. And we'll be talking about mechanics, power mechanics, and mechanical engineering. That's what he wants to interview me about. So it should be pretty interesting. And who knows? If you listen to OX, you might buck around and learn something from me too. Who knows? All right. All right. But let's get back to what we was talking about. I keep this thing, right? Because, you know, Negroes be pissing me off. So I keep this mural in my archives, right? Behind me here you see 4 children, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Sequoia. This is Reuter. This is Natalie. And this is Devin behind me. And I keep this picture for many reasons. But my main reason is when people come on here and say, he didn't deserve to die because he got pulled over. He didn't deserve to die because he had a joint. He didn't deserve to die because he had X, Y, and Z. As soon as they say that shit, I'll be like, "Argh!" These people behind me, all of these children, the average age here, I believe, is 6. Every single one of these kids were killed 4th of July weekend in 2020. Every single one of them was killed. So I don't want to hear who doesn't deserve to die as long as I got this picture. Don't talk to me about who don't deserve to die. Because guess what? These kids weren't pulled over by the cops. They weren't in a drug raid. They weren't running from the police. They weren't driving a stolen car. They weren't selling dope. They weren't carrying a gun. They were shot dead by those same black ass Negroes that if the police shoot one of them in the head, we marching.
But they ain't marched for none of them kids.
Not one march for these babies. Not one. Not one.
You know why?
Not one. And little Natalie here, Natalie Wallace, I actually had her father on 2 months after it happened. I had her father on. His name is Nathan Wallace. And we talked about this. We talked about it, man. Because, you know, we do that here too. Those of you who accuse T.P.O.T of being this one-trick pony, we actually talk to people whose children have been killed, Negroes. And we talked about this stuff. So I don't want to hear who didn't deserve to die. Unless you can name all these babies. Do not come on my channel telling me who didn't deserve to die, Negroes. All right? All right. But anyway, like you said, it's highly unlikely that some random white person just gonna walk up and kill you. Highly unlikely. But it ain't that unlikely that some random Negro will walk up and kill you, depending on where you at.
Depending on where you at.
Depending on where you at. Depending on what colors you got on. Depending on what kind of jewelry your ass wear. Okay? You know? You wearing that bling bling. You wearing that bling.
Here you come.
Pow
Here
pow.
you come.
But this is the thing. I have been in quote unquote rough white neighborhoods before. And I never got shot. I never got killed, obviously, unless this is my ghost shot.
You sure?
Obviously, I didn't get killed.
You sure?
And I didn't really think that I had to have my head on a swivel like that. Of course, I always got my head on somewhat of a swivel. But I didn't think I had to have my head on a swivel like that. Now, when I go into those areas of town where it's a bunch of niggas, especially areas of town where I know niggas done been shot dead, the head's on the swivel. But see, I'm in North Carolina, all right? And, you know, I carried a .50 a Desert Eagle. So I will lay one of these Negroes down. Because, see, here, you carry your shit openly. You carry your shit
Mhm.
on your side like Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, goddamn it, John Wayne, goddamn it.
Mhm.
You can carry your shit. And
Yeah,
guess
same
what?
thing here.
It's
Mhm.
open carry. So guess what? Negroes sit. They sit when you come up. They know what they're dealing with, boy. So you have to, in a sense. Now, don't get me wrong. I just came back from New York, right? And I hang out in Brooklyn. I'll be in the Bronx. I'll be in Queens. I'll be in Manhattan. But I'm a New Yorker. I'll walk around there and do whatever. And sometimes, guess what? I'll be in the hood. Because I go over to Zayek's Institute. Zayek's Institute is smack dab in the middle of the hood. And I go there. So it all depends on where you are. And I think it has a lot with who you are too. But you are more likely to get robbed inside some hood, some ghetto, than you are in some trailer park. That's just the truth. Now, people are getting mad. Oh, you didn't say that. No. It's just the truth, man.
Figures don't lie, but
No,
liars
they do
do
not.
figure.
Yeah, liars do figure. You are more likely to find yourself shot down in some hood in Chicago than you will inside of a trailer park, even as a black man. Even as a black man. Now, people will tell you, well, the safest place for you to be is in the hood. Yeah, if you one of the niggas out there doing the shooting and carrying the guns, selling the dope, it ain't the safest place for your ass if you ain't from around there. It's not the safest place for you if you're not from around there.
Isn't that a weird irony of life in America too? As a black person, just a average black person, are you? And I want to ask the question as opposed to just make the statement, but are you in fact safer around quote unquote rednecks than you are around quote unquote hood niggas? As a fellow hood nigga or the random black person, however you want to approach it, are you really safer around rednecks? That is an interesting question.
Well, I'm living example of that. I'm born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, Detroit's West Side, graduate of Cooley High School, class of 1983. I live in two places down here. You probably never heard of it: Cuero, Texas, and Goliad, Texas. Now, who do you think I'm surrounded more by?
It's a bunch
I
of
would say
bunch of
rednecks.
rednecks.
Guess how much trouble I've had since 1993?
Little to none.
Yeah, closer to none. I mean, it's mind boggling, and even if somebody don't like me, maybe guess what they ain't doing? Guess what they ain't trying to do? Fuck that nigga. Soon as that motherfucker come up. Wait, I'm saying it wrong. Fuck that nigga. As soon as she come up, he's gonna drag him out of. Who the hell gave him the right to drive around in a crew cab, 1-ton Dodge pickup truck, and with a turbo diesel on top of that? Who the hell he think he is? We gonna get his ass the next time he come.
We're gonna get that nigger.
It don't happen. It don't happen. Like I just told you, X. I'm looking at the side. You walk out the side, out the back, out into the impound yard. You're looking at the side of the sheriff's office. Guess how many black deputies we got?
How many?
None.
None.
None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Okay, we got one black state trooper. One. But deputies, none. City cops, none. You think that, but somehow I managed to drive through this bitch like I own this motherfucker. And I don't think they're gonna mistake me for anything else.
Yeah.
But guess what? Now I'm willing to bet you, if I walk up to one of them, punk ass motherfucking cop, tell you what, it's going down. Now, is it going down because I'm black? Or is it going down because he got to go in protection mode?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what part of your actions a lot of time dictates your outcome? What part of that do people not understand? Oh, such and such, he ain't have to die. He was just selling DVDs and CDs in front of the store. Okay, this dude, look at his history. You know, when they pull up he went to jail for, he done been to jail for, why do you go back, X? Why would you go back to the same store that the police then came and told you, don't bring your ass back around here no more. The owner of the store, we're gonna arrest your ass for motherfucking vagrancy and illegal distribution of licensed products.
Mm.
And what do 2 days later? You go right back.
Yeah, you return.
The guy called the police. You got a gun on you. They get on the ground. You wrestling with them and trying to, well, how you know he was trying to reach for the gun? Why do you're a felon? They just you got arrested for the same shit, and you're gonna go back to the same store to sell your DVDs and CDs outside the same store. You own paper and you got a gun. Make that make sense. Your actions dictated the outcome. Even with a gun and a felon, if they would have told him to get on the ground and put, like when they was telling him to put his hands out, and then the video of him fighting and what, Negroes love wrestling with cops, don't they?
Yeah.
But the thing is, and he probably, if they would have got the gun off of him, handcuffed him and booked him, and he would have went back to jail for the same shit. Now you got a gun charge on top of whatever you own, that you got on the other shit. But people, oh, look at this guy. This white guy shot this guy and the police didn't shoot him. Yeah, because when they told him to drop the gun, what did he do?
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the gun. When he told him to get on the ground, what did he do? He got on the ground. Now, the one white dude in Ohio that didn't, in Dayton, Ohio, and you to police, put the gun, drop the gun. Goddamn, don't. They lit his white ass up. How come that wasn't on TV? Wrong narrative, right?
Yeah.
White cops shot a white man who illegal possession of a firearm. They found that out. He was wanted for something. They never said what he was wanted for. And they shot him dead. I think they shot him sick. 2 cops shot him 6 times. He had 6 hits.
Mm.
But he white. Bottom shelf Brad White. How come ain't outside of the local Dayton, Ohio news, you didn't hear nothing about it?
Well, we like to, and shout out to Brother Stoic for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. He said, no X, but non-black people shoot up cinemas, which is a statistical anomaly. But remember, exceptions swallow rules. I appreciate that, brother. You get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Yeah, I mean, we have I think that we overinflate at times when things happen, especially when you're talking about police encounters. All right. When you talk about police encounters, we overinflate a lot when it comes to police encounters. Now, don't get me wrong, right? There have been many questionable police shootings. There have been police killings that, leave you wondering, what the hell went wrong. But not every single police shooting is some act of racism. Not every single police shooting is questionable. All right. Sometimes the police are in the right to shoot someone. I'm not saying every single time, But sometimes the police are in the right when they're shooting someone, especially when this person is armed, especially when this person has done something to the police, especially when for instance, do you guys remember? It hasn't been that long. There was a girl, and I believe she had called the police. And when the police pulled up, this girl had like a butcher knife, like a kitchen knife or something. And the cops saw her. She was already tussling with one person on the ground. She got up and she made her way towards another person who was maybe, from the way it looks, maybe 10 feet away. And she went back to stab that girl with that knife, and the cop shot her ass dead.
Yep.
Now, there was a lot of controversy over that shooting. People, oh, it's racist. He should have did something different. He shouldn't have shot her. He should have shot her in the leg. You know, all this kind of stuff. Fine, I'll give them that argument.
No, how about she shouldn't have ran at the girl with a knife? How about that?
I will even give them that argument, Brother Taylor. Say he didn't shoot her. Say he just said, hey, put that knife down.
Like she didn't notice he was a cop, right?
Yes, as she ran over there and commenced to stab the hell out of this other girl, right? Right?
Yep.
What people would have said then was, oh, he just stood there and let her get stabbed. He should have did something.
You know that's what they would have said. Of course, everyone's at fault except for the girl with the knife.
Oh, they leapfrog right over that. See,
forget the fact that she had a knife.
See, that's part of the black pathology. See, it's everybody's fault except the perpetrators. It's everybody's fault except the people who are committing the offense, who are committing the crime, who are doing this. It's everybody's fault except theirs. They leap. It's like they weren't even there.
Yeah. Do you see how big that girl was?
Mm-hmm.
All BS aside, then they talking about she was 16. Are you kidding me, man? That looked like Gilbert Brown twin sister. What you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big girl with a knife and going to stab that chick with all the pink stuff. Mm-hmm. And forget the fact when we pull up, the daddy was kicking the other girl in the head.
Yeah.
That was the crazy part to me.
What the hell is going on out there? This is a freaking zoo.
Yes. And like Brother Nate says, it's racism if he shoots, it's racism if he doesn't. Exactly. Because if he hadn't have shot the girl, and because she was going after that girl, she was going to jug that girl. She was going to jug her. So if he hadn't have shot her, they would have said, oh, he's racist. He just let that girl get stabbed. You know, I mean, there's not race. I'll say this all the time. There is not racism under every damn rock, under every damn tree, behind every damn door, man. It's not. Some things are as simple as black and white. No pun intended. All right? Because I believe that if that person was white trying to stab somebody, that the police should have shot him.
Yeah, she still would have got shot.
The police should have shot if they was white. If they was a white person with that damn kitchen knife going after to stab somebody else, the police should have shot them as well. So if you can put someone of another race in that position and the outcome should have been the same, you can't now cry racism. All right? You cannot cry racism for the simple fact that one person is white, one person is black. And that's where I think we are when we talk about making arguments off of exceptions. I go back to that. If one person is white and they do something to somebody black, it's racism. But if one person is black and they do something to somebody white, it's not. You can't have it both ways. You can't say when a white person does something to a black person, it's racist. But when a black person does something to a white person, it's not racist. We can't have it both ways. And shout out to brother Blexit for the $5 super chat. He says police shootings happen at less than 1% rate. Black on black crime happens at a 94% rate. BLM and Hoteps lied. And when you drop coins on this platform, you know you get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. I mean, you know, we can't have it both ways, man. And I think a lot of times that's what we want. We want to call everything white people do racist and prejudice, but whatever we do to white people is justified because we used to be slaves. And that's the argument that people will give you. Well, you know, we were in chains and Jim Crow and slavery and all that.
None of them Negroes in chains, and ain't none of them live under Jim Crow, under Jim Crow laws.
That's the crazy thing about that whole black people can't be racist argument. Like the very first time I actually heard that, like in my real life, like outside of YouTube context, it was a friend of mine, her daughter had like just graduated college or something like that. And then we were hanging out and she just happened to say, like, she was joking about something, but she just happened to say it casually because, you know, black people can't be racist because racism is privilege plus power. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did you learn this shit in college? And then, you know, years later, I'm in the YouTube world and I start diving deeper into this whole woke shit. And I'm like, wow, like, because this is like basically a critical race theory argument. And it's amazing how deep that shit has sort of set in, like these little weird ideas about black people and race and white people and all that. And it's like, there are so many lies that we just sort of accept. That's why I kind of refer to it as like black mythology, because we just believe in a lot of mythologies about race and racism that just don't really bear out in the numbers.
That's because when we hear racism, to many of us, racism means white people doing something to black people. It doesn't mean anything else. It doesn't mean white people doing shit to Latinos or Asians or black people doing something to white folks or Asian. No, when we hear racism, it's automatically some white person did something wrong to some black person. That's our definition of racism. Anything else isn't racism or bigotry or discrimination. Our definition for racism, bigotry, and discrimination is white people have done something to black people. That's racism to us. It doesn't apply anywhere else. It only applies there. That's it. Brother Heat 7777 says evil only exists for whites. Blacks really don't believe in God like we say we do. And also, Brother Supreme is crazy. He says the policeman needed more training. He should have shot the knife out of her hand without hitting her hand. Imagine that. Some old television shit, right? Where he shoots the knife out of her hand.
They be coming up with some crazy, but them same folks will sit here. You can watch the video and watch them slaughter each other.
Mm-hmm.
Slaughter each other. And they have no problem doing it. No snitching. Snitches get stitches. You getting stitches without snitching.
Exactly.
Them Negroes is getting stitches, and Negroes is the ones that's giving the stitches out. Now on the police thing, Brother X, let's say this thing start going around, and it's people with blue jeans, mix and match sneakers, and an orange t-shirt. And they stabbing people, right? It was stabbing. Next week, another stabbing. And everybody fit the thing. Blue jeans, mix and match sneakers, and an orange t-shirt. And it's just going on and 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 on. You pull up to the ATM to get some money out, right? My black ass walk up, right? Right? What you gonna think?
This is the robber.
You know,
this,
but
this is
then,
the dude who be robbing people.
yeah. I mean, he part of that crew because apparently it seems to be a crew because it's happening all over the place. So we
Yeah.
know it's more than one person. So
Mhm.
there seems to be, I'm talking about the Negro. So it seems to be, here's a pattern here, right? Okay. Can you get robbed by a black guy wearing a suit and a tie and wingtip shoes? Of course you can.
Mhm.
Which one would you be worried more about? That guy that's minding his business, walking with his briefcase, or Pookie, you know, or Pookie, you know, and
Yeah.
and looking at you all funny. Which one you looking at harder?
Yeah, and statistically, I don't know the exact numbers, but you're probably more likely to be robbed by someone like that than you are some brother in a suit with a briefcase.
Yeah, because bro was suiting he probably ain't even paying you no attention. And then
Nope.
something else. I tell people they worrying about white people. Newsflash, Negroes. The average white person ain't even thinking about your ass.
Nope.
Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. Because guess what? White people got problems too.
Mm-hmm.
They got car note to make. They got a phone bill to make. Kids got, need this. Gas, my brakes on my damn car acting up. And damn, I spent my money on the hot water heater. They got shit going on too, and it ain't got nothing to do with you, Negro.
Yep. It's got
Nothing.
it's got nothing to do with racism. Now,
No.
people will have you believe that, every white person, every rank and file white person wakes up every day thinking about black folks or being supreme over black folks.
Yeah, well,
And
let me see. What am I gonna do to fuck with Negroes today, right?
yep.
Who does that? Who does that? But know who I see doing that? The ones just standing outside in front of the bodega. What is it? Or you was from New York. What is it with Negroes congregating out in front of a damn bodega? What the hell is that?
Because usually wherever a bodega is, there's usually traffic, there's usually women walking by. The people that go in and out of there. I know that's when we used to hang out in front of stores when I was a young guy. That's why we did it. We hang out in front of the store because usually when it rains, the store has a canopy. So if you are a smoker or you want to drink a beer, you can get up under the canopy and smoke your cigarette out of the rain. You can drink your beer out of the rain. So
can I do that at home? So what? The beer and cigarettes don't work at home?
Well, see, this is the thing. See, the reason why a lot of brothers hang around the store nowadays, they ain't just hanging around because of those reasons. They're hanging around because they want to watch people in and out of there so they can say, yo, man, you got $1? Yo, man, you got 50 cents? Yo, can I get a cigarette? A lot of them are hanging out around there because of that. All right. I know I go into a store, it's like, I go ahead and dig into how you keep change in the car. I keep a lot of quarters and shit in the car and in the truck. So I'll just reach in there and get like $2, and just have it in my hand, so I could be prepared for the beggars as I headed to the store. Cause I know somebody needs 50 cents. Somebody want $1. But it all depends on what mood I'm in now. It all depends. If they catch me before I go out on the road, they'll get it. They'll get $1 too. I'm giving brothers $5 or $10. But now if they catch me after I done worked like 11, 12 hours and I'm on my way home and I'm tired and I'm sweaty and then got all kinds of splinters in my hand and maybe burnt my hand on an engine and I've been working for like 12 hours, I'm probably not going to give them shit. So it's all when they catch me. It's all in the timing. It's all in the timing. If you catch me before I go on the road, I might give you $2. If you fucking with me after I done worked 12 hours straight, I might pistol whip you. I don't know. Yo, man, you got $2? Bop, bop.
Damn. I'm like,
You
oh,
know,
damn. X over there jacking
it
homeboy up.
all depends on what's going on in my head at that time. That's what'll dictate whether or not I give you $2 or not. I mean, but that's why they're doing it. I know down here, the dudes who hang out in front of the store, if there's 4 dudes out there, at least 2 of them are gonna try to hit you up for like $1 or 50 cents or $2. That's how it is. That's
Damn,
how
a
it is.
world of hurt fucking with me. Man, a world of hurt fucking with me.
I look out for them from time to time. You know, like I
No.
said, it all depends on what's going on in my head.
No, I ain't saying you wrong. I mean, everybody got they in a world of hurt fucking with me. Now that's funny that you say that. Dig this. This was years ago. We talked about. I was on O'Shea's live stream. We was talking, and the thing is, I done it on there because it had pretty much just. It was still kind of fresh. This was like 3 years ago, something like that. Dude, walk up. I'm looking at. I just moved. Just opened my second impound yard. Right. Ain't got much going on and shit, still trying to get it. I'm on a string, but I know it's gonna pick up, right? I go in early, and wind, would blow debris, bags and stuff like that, up against your fence, right? I would go, always take a bag because I'm the janitor, I'm the trash man, I'm the truck driver, I'm the mail taker, I'm everything. I ain't got no money, I'm working. I walk around with the bag. I even went to the store. I bought me one of them sticks, to pick up the stuff, right? Dude asking for money, right? Dude walking along the fence, and I look at him. I'm picking up the stuff, and he like, yo, bro, man, you got anything you can, any money? X. I paused, and I had a reflection. I said, I tell you what, bro. You take this here and this bag. I said, this is my place. If you go around my fence here, now it's an acre and a half. Now, I don't think a lot of people don't realize how big an acre is, but you know what I mean? It's an acre and a half. You go around this fence here, man, and pick this stuff, pick the trash up, man. X, I'm talking something maybe 15 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes at the top. Walk around and pick this up. You see the dumpster over there by the office. You throw that in there, bro. I'll give you $10. $10 for walking using my trash bag, right? My pick 'em up thing. And 15, like I say 10, 15 minutes at the max. I give you $10. What's minimum wage for an hour worth of work? What, 9 something? Yeah. I give you $10. He said, man, I tell you what, man, can't you just give me a couple of dollars? Guess what I did? I kept walking, picking up them cans and bags along my damn fence like he wasn't even there. Mm-hmm. And I wished you would have debated, because you know me, I'm heavy everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. Because that's where they would have found your ass, laying on my property up near my fence with some hollow points, with some hot ones right through, double, 2 in the chest, 1 in the face. That if you get more if you get shot by me, cop be like, oh yeah, that's his mark.
Yeah, yep, that's his mark.
They're gonna be, because I say it all the time. That's the way we were trained when we doing room clearing, house cleaning. 2 in the chest, 1 in the face.
Well, when you come into situations like that, it makes you think, because it's like, okay, this brother is asking for money, so you're giving him an opportunity to make more money than he was asking for.
Yeah.
That lets you know how entitled a person is, because see, they would rather you just give them money than them actually working for it, because he would have been working for that money
Yeah, using the products that I've
that you're
given
providing.
him.
You're providing him the
I'm
bag and the
providing it for
grabber
you.
and all that. But
Te-
nope.
Technically, you're trespassing, whether he knew it or not. Technically, because I'm on my property. Now, he probably didn't know it was mine, probably just think I'm a hired hand, which technically I am, if you want to get technical about it. But I said, man, tell you what, bro. And here's the thing, X. All right, because it's a rectangle shaped yard, right? I'd already done one side. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm almost at the corner of one flank. So it's only 3 flanks left. I said, man, tell you what, I'll take, because man, the phone ringing. I got stuff I want to do. I ain't have the employees I have now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I'm trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? And but man, I'm trying to and he, man, can't you just give me a couple? I just put my head down and got my little pick 'em up stick thing going again, putting the shit in the trash bag and kept walking.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, man.
Entitled.
I know.
Entitled motherfuckers. Entitled motherfuckers. But shout out to Brother Son is Hot Raw for the 10 pounds. He says, yes, racism does exist, but let's be real. We used to ignore our stupidity and blind us to our reckless, inappropriate behavior. I agree. And when you drop coins on this platform, you get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. The Sun Rot Hobby always dropping coins. Let me give him a wrench, because you know I got the wrench folks who be supporting the platform. God damn it, my brother, appreciate that. Brother Sun is Hot Raw, and also King Sigma is in the house with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, brother Sigma. He says the debate never ends. Salute. Yeah, it doesn't, man. It doesn't.
I just watched somebody
Sigma
sent me a link of a video King Sigma done like about a week ago. Everybody, man, Nick, you seen this? See what? Man, watch this. And I was looking at the video and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, King Sigma's that dude, man. I mean,
he be getting. I'm like, man, okay.
Oh yeah,
Shoot,
he goes
man.
he goes in. But you know, you get this when you drop coins on this platform. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Appreciate that, brother Sigma. And the offer still stands, brothers. You know, if you want to come up here and voice your opinion, y'all know what it is. If you wish to come through, it's Popular Thought at yahoo.com. It's Popular Thought at yahoo.com. One word, no caps, at yahoo.com. I thought I was going to get a detractor up here. They was talking like they wanted to come up here, but
no, because look, talk is cheap when the story is good and you in the chat, but when you have to stand and deliver, when you got to stand on your square and try to push that bullshit. Okay, here's a detractor. The niggas ain't shit. The chick with 6 kids by 6 different dudes talking about niggas ain't shit. She can do that on the internet. She can do that from a chat room. She can't stand on that square behind a microphone and do it.
She can't come up into the digital squared circle and stand.
Hey, what Tina Turner, Auntie Entity saying Beyond Thunderdome, bust the deal, face the wheel.
Yeah.
And you had to go in that cage, you know. You can bust the deal, face the wheel. You know, they can't do it. That's why they do that. If it's something, if it's something, even if it's something I really believe in, but I ain't got enough data to go toe to toe with somebody on it, I shut the fuck up.
Mm.
Even though
Well-
even though I believe, but wait, you wait till I get the data that I need.
Mm-hmm.
Then now I'll see you again. See, I'm a Scorpio. I am very patient. I'm never anxious. Never. The only thing I'm anxious to do is go to sleep and
Yeah.
get up, go to sleep and to get up and go to work. Everything else, I got 30 minutes before I hit the club. Drop the link.
I already sent it. I sent it to you already, Brother Sigma. Because you know
Hey.
everybody has everybody's email, so I have yours. Everybody has everybody's freaking email. Yeah, I mean, you would think, right, that in these days and times, that people would, number one, be a little more wiser. You would
I think
that
technology makes them dumber.
yes, that's the thing. Okay. And that is the norm. Now, people will try to make you believe that that's not the norm, that is some outlier, but it's not, because everybody's tapped into some type of technology. You got 9-year-old kids walking around with damn iPhones, all right, and know how to use them, all right. They know how to have hidden apps and all this kind of nonsense so their parents don't find out, right? They know all that stuff now. So when you got a
And
society,
can't read.
yeah, they can't read, but they know how to operate an iPhone. Ain't that something? Can't read, write, or count, but they can operate every app on the iPhone. What's good, Brother Sigma?
Hey, what's happening with you, T.P.O.T? Shout out to the brother Nick Taylor. How y'all doing tonight?
Chilling, bruh.
Just a couple of old Negroes up here, talking.
Old Negro. Old Negro.
What's good with it, man?
Yeah, I'm actually out here in Seattle right now, and I was just tuning in. I don't get around to the Black YouTube too much, but when I do, I try to keep a pulse on what's going on across the country. It's kind of interesting out here on the Pacific Northwest right now. Earlier, I was out on the first hill and the Capitol Hill out here, and I noticed something about out here. Like, as a black man, a lot of these Asian women and Indian women, they just kind of they just drawn to you like a magnet, man. So I'm about to hit out there in a couple minutes, but I just want to show some love to the T.P.O.T tonight.
Oh, absolutely, man. You always welcome up here, brother. Always, always, always. I feel honored that you want to come up here and chop it up with us two old fellas.
Hey, ain't that chick that ain't got nothing nice to say about us black males out there in Washington State too?
Oh man, hey, whatever they told you is a lie, because I'm from the Twin Cities, and I'm all about immersing myself in the actuality. So I don't too much listen to what people say. I
just hear it from other people. I get it secondhand. I don't watch that.
Nah, don't do secondhand, bro. Like, there's nothing better.
No, I can't watch her. I can't watch it,
man. I don't give a fuck.
My brain will explode.
Like what I did, because I was supposed to go to Amsterdam, Europe this week, but I flipped a quarter, and I just kind of looked at a map. Boom, it said go to Seattle and Portland this week. So I'm in Seattle. I'm going to Portland tomorrow. But what I could tell you for sure, what shocked me, like, as I spend more and more time, like, just walking around Seattle, driving around Seattle, I couldn't believe that so many Asian women was just on my team, bro. Like, even tonight, I met like 2 Indian doctors, 2 bras that was from India, but they're doctors, right? And the spot that I'm about to go to in another hour or so, they was like, please come through. They want to just like spoil me, buy me drinks, spoil me. You dig what I'm saying? So like, you already know, when it comes time for the nightcap, it's a done deal. You know what I'm saying? Drill that bitch back to motherfucking India. You dig?
Hey.
Well, enjoy yourself, young man. Just be safe.
Yeah,
Enjoy
just
yourself,
be safe. Be safe.
Be safe and enjoy yourself, young man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, God damn it.
So
The
don't
spider what Negro say,
don't
enjoy it.
don't listen to the propaganda, bro. Like one of the reasons why a lot of these ABWs are so angry at us American black men is because we were raised by, you know, the ABW, but our opportunities are like endless, man. Like an educated black man in 2021 with this internet thing, it's
Yeah,
it's
see, I'm an
unbelievable.
old dude. I predate the internet, and I'm my daddy, just 27 years younger version of my daddy, because he's
Mhm.
27 when he made me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my pops was
same
23
thing.
when he had me and shit. So it's like one of the things I always talk about is that my father's generation, my grandfather's generation, they didn't have the opportunities that we have. And I'm telling you, bro, like I just renewed my passport this year. So kind of what I was doing is that I've never been to Seattle, Portland, Vancouver. So what I'm doing is that on this trip, I'm in Seattle this week, I'm in Portland next week, and then I'm going to go up to Vancouver once they open up their borders, and then I'm off to Tokyo. So I'm telling you right now, the power of an American black male that doesn't fit that stereotype.
Oh yes, that's a. Oh
It's
yeah,
crazy,
man. Shoot,
man.
I've
It's
been
too
knowing
easy.
that.
Like I'm telling you, like because the expectation of a lot of these non-black women is that you're going to be on some kind of degenerate, low
Fuck
IQ
shit.
type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you start, like when you encounter like just one of these non-black women, and you just start having a conversation where, like, for example, tonight I was talking to the broad about COVID, and we were having a discussion about, you know, the COVID protocols, pros and cons, and you could just tell, like, just the fact that I could even have that conversation with her, that pussy was just going. So by the time I told her this is my last night in Seattle, she was like, please come to this nightclub that I'm going to go to. So once I get off here, I'm out. Shit is crazy, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you something, brother Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think brothers like yourself, all right? Do you think that you guys are the exception?
No.
Or
I
the
don't think
norm?
so. I think I'm the norm because, you know, when I talk to, like, you know, my relatives that come from the street life, there's not really a big difference between us. The only difference is that, let's say there were 10 decisions made in a lifetime, right? My cousins and my brothers, they made that decision and I made this decision. But ultimately, we're the same DNA, right? So that I don't feel like I'm like the exception at all. I feel like all black men, I have a part of them. Even the most thugged out black man, a part of me is in him, and a part of him is in me. Only difference is that he chose to go left, I chose to go right. And I understand that because I talk to my own relatives and they be on some straight up hood shit, bro. Like if you met my brothers or you met my cousins, it's no way you would think that we were related. But we are the same person. We came out of the same black womb. So to me, it's just a matter of decisions. They went left, I went right. And that's it. That's the only difference. There's no other. There's not like no DNA type of difference, man.
I would have to agree to a point. But what often happens, this is what often happens. They will say that a brother like yourself, you know, I watch your stuff and all that kind of stuff. You're a very intelligent young man. Everyone who knows that knows, everyone who knows you knows that, right? Now, people will put you up as being the exception. Why? Because they're used to dealing with people who aren't as intelligent as you are. They're used to dealing with people who are very low vibration, maybe low IQ, you know. So when they hear you speak and they see you come up and listen to the things you talk about in your presentations, they'll be like, wow, you know, this guy is not just an exception, but he's exceptional. You know, they will think that based on their own history of dealing with other folks, obviously, because that's what we kind of base things on most of the time, right? We base things on our own history, our own background, our own stories, our own anecdotes, right? That's what we base it on. So they would take a brother like you and they'd be like, oh man, he's an exception, because those other black dudes are dumb, because they've dealt with people who they think are dumb. But on the other side of that, if you are a dumb person or a person who's not as intelligent, and people who are used to dealing with intelligent brothers come upon you, and you may not be as intelligent, they can see him as the exception based on the people they've dealt with, because they've dealt with intelligent brothers. So when they see this one brother walk up and he dumb, they like, oh, he's the exception, because brothers are really, really smart. So I think it has a lot to do with how we perceive things, how we see things, what we experience, and regardless of anything else. And I know people don't want to admit it, even us black folks, we all have prejudices. All of us, even though we don't want to admit it. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing is that even when you do the science on it, you find out that when you look at siblings, so let's say your brother chose to be a killer and your sister chose to be a drug dealer and one chose to live a square life. They found out that those three siblings are within 5 to 6 IQ points. So there's only like a 5 to 6 point difference in the IQ of a brother that chose the murder lifestyle, a sister that chose a drug lifestyle, and a brother that chose the square lifestyle. So I always base my thing on science. So when I look at my relatives, there's really no difference. The only statistical difference is the decision making, and that ends up being critical because in America, a black man doesn't have very much error. We don't have the option to make bad decisions. We might get one chance, maybe two in life.
Mhm.
But ultimately, a black man has to be so precise and efficient in his decision making. So the difference between my brother and my sister will be that they made one bad decision and that shit can cost them dearly in the United States. Whereas me, I will look at my brother and say, damn, he got 5 years for that drug charge. Okay. My sister, she got this for this assault charge. I ain't gonna make two. So I've already eliminated 2 lanes for myself. So the only difference is that I saw what he did, I saw what she did. I'm going the opposite direction. But that's science. There ain't much difference between IQ of siblings. Even if one, in the movie Menace to Society or Boys to the Hood, where Ricky and then you have the Ice Cube character. If you were to look at the science, it would say that Ice Cube's character in Boys in the Hood and Ricky's character is only like 5 points in IQ difference. So there ain't much difference in the IQ, bro.
Mm. Well, do you think that being said, so like you said you don't consider yourself the exception.
No, I'm not. I'm not exceptional at all.
But you do exceptional things because you do things that more than likely, even though people, they may have similar IQs to you, your siblings, for instance, they may have similar IQs as you, but you do other shit. You do exceptional things with your IQ as opposed to doing, the street live shooting folks, selling crack, that kind of stuff. So in a sense, that makes you exceptional because you do exceptional things with your IQ. Because there's a lot of high IQ crack dealers and drug boys and stick 'em up kids and all that kind of foolishness. A lot of them are high IQ, but they don't do exceptional things. They do the normal low energy stuff.
It depends.
Right?
See again, like being from Milwaukee and being from Wisconsin and coming from that, working class family, I see it a little bit differently. Like I've had relatives who they have extremely high IQs, man. But the only difference was that one person using their IQ to do some lowbrow shit, and the other person used their IQ to do some highbrow stuff. So let's take example, like you take a guy that comes from like the Westline projects. He might either say, hey, I'm gonna be on some Pablo Escobar shit, and then the same guy, you put him in a situation where he makes a decision that I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna be on some Mark Zuckerberg type tip. He joins like he goes to school, he goes to Marquette University, graduates, he takes the path to internship in Facebook. Next thing you know, he's in the top 5 at Facebook. The only difference, and I'm telling you from my own, I can't speak for other people, but I'm speaking from my own example. The only difference is that moment when they make that decision. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out here who they don't have the long-term thinking. So when they say, damn, I could hit 50K on this bird right here. Or another guy says, I could take this 50K scholarship and I can make 10,000 birds. That's the only difference, but that's just me. It's hard for me to consider myself exceptional because I look at the fact that my brothers and my sisters came out the same womb that I did, and my mom and my father came out the same wombs. So even when you look at the science, I'm telling you, there's not much difference in the IQ. The difference is in the nurturing aspect. That's the most prominent part. Nurturing represents about 30% of the outcomes for Americans. That 30% is so important. So it's that 30% of nurturing. So if your mom told you, hey, you can't be running those streets, take your ass to basketball practice and go to the tutoring session, that's where you win. But if you don't have that little bit of that 30% of nurturing, that's when you get the brothers that say, fuck it, I'm going to go get this 10K bird. Boom, 10 years in prison. That's the only difference to me, at least.
So what do you brothers think about what's on the screen right now? Shout out to Brother Roscoe. He says most criminals have low IQs. The people on the higher end of the organization potentially have high IQs. I would have to agree with that.
Yeah,
if you're like
normally that's the case. Normally,
yeah, if you're the kingpin, you're probably smarter than most of the people who are out there pushing your crack on the street.
See, part of the IQ test, when I remember when we had to take it before I, was attempting to go SOCOM, is decision making. That's the fourth part of the test. And I'm listening to what you're saying. You made the right decisions. You weighed the odds. Okay, which one do I have a better chance of succeeding versus failure in? Okay. Can I run across this freeway at rush hour, full speed, blindfolded, and not get hit? Yes. But what are the odds? But see, a person of a sharper thought wouldn't even consider. I'm like, why would I even waste time trying to work on this equation when, at worst, at best, I won't get hit. At worst, I'm dead. That's just me. That's just my inner. That's just my inner SOCOM talking, and your decision making, because you figure I'm smart enough where I can survive and flourish without risking myself being incarcerated into a system that I have no control over. Whereas even if I'm working for someone else out here, I have a little bit of control. And I can go and come, because just how I came to work for T.P.O.T, a slave driver too. He'd be, Nick, you need to hurry up, get this damn software out. Damn it, you supposed to be. I'm like, God, come on, Techie, man, come me some stuff. But see,
I haven't had a day off in 35 days.
Yeah, I can put in a 2-week notice. Now I'm gonna have to send it to him in an email because I know I'm gonna be catching some heat. But but I can put in a 2-week notice and leave techie industries. But I can't do that if I'm in that game, because somebody else making the decisions for you, your customers, your pusher, and the judicial system.
Yeah, and I agree
decision making.
Let me
sorry.
hop in there right fast. Nah, you fine. What's up, Nick? What's up, King Sigma and T.P.O.T? What's up, man? What's
good
up
with it, brother Cat? Hold it before you start
I'll put
talking.
your channel up too, King Sigma.
Before you start talking, brother KIT, because those of you who do not know brother KIT is the official timekeeper of the T.P.O.T debates. Get down there and check him out. Keep it techie on YouTube and keepittechie.com, you Negroes. Go ahead, brother KIT. You got it.
I was just gonna say, kind of piggybacking off of what Nick said, but a lot of that can be attributed to leadership skills, and certain people are, born with leadership skills when it comes to managing and controlling whatever operation it is. You know what I'm saying? And then also some people have to be learned how or taught how to be leaders. And you know that from the military. That's one of the things we have to go through, in order to become a non-commissioned officer or, an officer in general. You have to go to leadership school. So I attribute that because some people are born born leaders. You know what I'm saying? It's just natural. It's kind of like those guys that can just go on the court and throw up a jumper, threes all day. You know what I'm saying? It's just that natural gift that they have. And so I think I somewhat lean towards what King Sigma said earlier when he was talking about I think it's all on the decisions that you make. And I hope I'm not all over the place. Sometimes I have scatterbrain every now and then, but it's all on the decisions that you make, because it's a lot of people that I grew up with that were smarter than me, at least from me looking from the outside. In my opinion, they had more street smarts than I had. They had more just things that could be attributed to leadership type skills that I did not possess. You know what I'm saying? But I made a different decision from those guys. Like one of my homeboys, he's serving, whatever on a murder charge, but he had like natural leadership, I would say skills, or so to speak, just from growing up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to give too much of a detail of example of what that was, but he did show leadership traits, and I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that at the time. Now, I'm not saying that I was self-aware of that when I was younger, but looking back on it, he did. So I don't know. It's all about the decisions you make, and like that point I made at the in the chat. It's really all about those decisions that you make. And that's one of the reasons I come to the manosphere, is to try to steer people, you guys all know, down that IT path, because I believe, it's a lot of opportunity out there for Black men to get into that field and make a lot of money, as well as, learn skills and just, somewhat build their own community by doing that. So that's what I got at the moment. Hopefully it made sense.
Made sense to me. But
just my thoughts. I don't know.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening to both of you brothers, actually. I mean, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, even if it is a mountain lion.
Yeah, I'm a true believer that your destiny is the sum total of the decisions that you've made in your life. All the decisions that you've made in your life have gotten you ready to this point right now, where you are right now. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever. All those decisions that you made up until this point got you here. No matter where here is, the decisions that you made in your life got you here. Shout out to brother Sun is Hot Raw again for another 10 pounds. He said, question for Sigma, because I know brother Sigma has to go. So I don't know if you got time for this question, brother Sigma.
No, I got 20 minutes, because I'm about to hit the little spot that's on Capitol Hill in about 20 minutes. So I'm good for 20 minutes.
Okay. He said, well, if it's IQ, then how is it that one has the common sense to know the difference between right and wrong, and the other one doesn't, and they were raised in the same environment? That's a good question.
I think that's that 30% because it's something I've always dealt with in my life. Is that I look at my family, especially the maternal side of my family, and they just love that street life. Like, I was talking to my sister today, sending her some pictures because I did a little harbor cruise around the Puget Sound out here in Seattle. And for her, it's like some amazing shit, you know what I'm saying? Because she just has a hood mentality, but they just like gravitate towards that street shit. But then it's that 30%. It may not sound like a lot to us, but that 30% is a big difference. So it might be the difference between, like, let's say your mom, right? She has 2 children. So one child comes home with an F and she says, "You just like your daddy, you ain't shit." But then to the other child, she says, "You got an F. I need you to work harder. You're better than this." That little difference, bro, that small difference in the reaction to the caretaker to that child can make a world of difference in outcomes. So to one child, because that's why I like the movie Boys in the Hood, because it was a perfect example of that dynamic. Because Ice Cube's character was told by the mom that he wasn't shit, he was a piece of shit. But then Ricky's character, because he was doing good on the football field, he was told that he was the blessed child. That's that 30%. So if that mom says to that one child, you're just like your father, you're a failure. Just like I hated him, I hate you. But then she says to the other child, "You're a blessed child. I expect more from you." It's so that nurturing part is so critical, especially for Black boys, because we have so much love and admiration for our mothers that dynamic, her saying yes is good or no is bad, can make a difference in the outcomes. And I'm talking about a 10-year-old boy and what happens to him as a 30-year-old male. That one take from his mother can make or break him. I'm dead serious because I've seen it so many times with so many of my friends. Black women, if you're listening, your love or your hate of your Black boy is the biggest difference that will make his outcomes either good or positive in life. I'm not bullshitting with that.
Oh yeah,
The villain
have
in
the
that
potential to
movie
corrupt them.
was the mother. She was the villain.
Yes,
I mean, people don't want to. The average Black person don't want to say that because they got Jocasta dear mama syndrome.
yeah.
But the villain of the movie was the mother. Because guess what? Even though she revered one and despised the other, she got both of them killed. Because both of them in that movie got killed. And the good one got killed first.
Mm-hmm.
The true soldier in that family was, now I know it's just a movie, it's Doughboy. Because who else would have been Ride, and you couldn't come up in that house, you couldn't run up in that house trying to jack nobody or do nothing, because you think they said that's because Clarice lives there, that's because Ricky lived there, or that's because Doughboy lived there? They're gonna say because that's where Doughboy lived. You ain't coming up there with that.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I think that's something that gets
The
lost
villain of
in
that
our.
movie was the mother. She was the villain. And I'll say it because I don't give a fuck. They can talk that them Black chick, they can come down, nigga, fuck you. I'll run your ass over. The villain of the movie, because I don't give a damn about the ones that don't give a damn about me. I see you as I will throw you away just like I throw away this rapper that I just took this 4 terabyte hard drive up here sitting in that I got to put in I'm upgrading my NAS server techie. Because I already got 8 4 terabytes.
So you had to you had to install a new RAM in your laptop.
Yeah, no. I got a NAS server for my my company's network, and I'm just filling up. I got 2 total spaces left, so I'm putting in 2 more 4 terabyte hard drives for my NAS server because I'm taking myself off the cloud, and
That's a big difference though.
Got my own server.
Hey, you go feel it though, like when because like I had to put in like some new RAM for my comp because my comp had like a the default RAM was like 12 gigabytes, some bullshit. And I
Mhm.
put in like 32.
Mhm.
Once you reset it,
Oh yeah.
man, it's just like everything is like instantaneous. Like you can tell the difference in that RAM speed instantaneously,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, let
Cause
me let me follow up with what you guys
go
said
ahead.
right
Go ahead.
fast. And sorry to cut you guys off, but
Go
nah,
ahead.
that's why it's like very important for women to involve the father in their son's life, because it's nothing like getting that male influence. You know what I'm saying? If a child doesn't have that, then it could stray them the wrong way, in my opinion. And so that's why I don't have a problem with a lot of these different content creators out here that talk about male improvement, or just different positive messages towards black men and boys that come to this community, online community, just to get, just to learn how to be a man at the end of the day. Because I grew up in a two-parent household, and a lot of the things and a lot of the mindset that I have now is because of my father. You know what I'm saying? And then as well as other influences, that I've gathered throughout my life, like especially the military. That's why I have high regard for other men, other black men that are in the military or were in the military. You know what I'm saying? Because I gained a lot of knowledge and support, and um and just things that guided me in the right direction. So it's important to have that male figure to teach you how to be a man at the end of the day. And y'all go ahead. I'm sorry that I just wanted to add that quick point. Because
Absolutely.
that's kind of what Doughboy represented somewhat, a male figure in the household. If that relates, that's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Me and Brother Taylor was talking about this earlier. Um, you know, when you have, as especially as a young guy, as a kid, when you have a man, to guide you and instruct you and teach you and give you counsel and give you a path to follow, give you training, you know. I mean, it just makes a difference, I mean, as a kid coming up myself, um, you don't necessarily see the difference as you're growing, but when you become a grown up, you see the difference. I was just telling Brother Taylor that, that when I was younger, people, and he said it happened to him too, people made fun of the fact that you had a father. Because, see, not having a father was the norm. That was the norm for a lot of people that I knew. I mean, I only had a couple friends where their father lived in the house, man. All the guys we hung out with, only like a couple of them had their father living in the house, and I was one of those people. And the fact that you had a father made you an exception, made you an outlier, because when guys was coming up during my time, if you had a father in the house, guess what? You had responsibilities. Um, you had to take out the trash. You had to cut the grass. You had to wash his truck. You had to feed the animals. You had to, you were doing that shit. You were raking the leaves. You were, shoveling snow. You were doing something. Okay, your life was filled with stuff. All right, you didn't have all that, downtime. Okay, when you got a father, you don't have a lot of downtime. You know, so you don't really have a lot of time to be like this idle mind. They used to say the idle mind is the devil's playground, right? When you are a kid with a father in the house, you don't have a lot. You don't have an idle mind because you don't have idle time. All right, you doing shit around that house. You in the truck with him, going to work. You got all that other stuff going on. So there is no idleness. No, there isn't much idleness going on. It just isn't. And I think the fact that your father puts you in those positions where you cannot be idle, where you cannot have idle time, where you have responsibilities and you supposed to take that garbage out, and you supposed to drag that pail to the end of the road every Thursday. You supposed to get out there and cut that grass and feed those animals. See, you got too much of that shit on your mind to have all that other nonsense. All right. Because see, I know me, my old man, when he told you to do something, he wasn't asking you to do it. He wasn't asking, do you
He's
want to do
commanding
it?
you to do it.
Yes. You are being instructed. You're being commanded to do it. You're not being asked. You're being told what to do. And he would say that. I'm not asking, boy. All right. So you already knew what it was. You know, every Thursday, you out there with that mower. You know, every Wednesday, that garbage get taken to the street. You know, every Friday, you go and wash his truck. You know, every morning, you go out there and feed those animals. Like, and see, I grew up in New York, but I grew up in not even the suburbs. I grew up in the rural part of New York. And my parents are from the South. All right. I was their first child that they had in New York. But we lived a country life. All right. Because we had a big old yard. Man, we had ducks, chickens, had a goat one time, rabbits and shit. My father had hunting dogs. We had the family dog. And guess what? A lot of that shit I had to do before school.
Yes.
I had to get up, feed those chickens, feed the dogs, feed the hunting dogs, clean the chicken coop. All that shit was before school. You come in, you clean up, you go to school, and when you came back, you did the duck house, you fed the goat, you cut the grass, you put the straw in the fucking rabbit cage. You know, I had shit to do. There's no time to be the fucking around. Because guess what? If that man came there and that shit was not done, that was your ass.
Gonna be hell to pay.
Yeah, that was your ass. If he came there and looked around and that fucking grass wasn't cut, that garbage wasn't out.
That sound like my maternal grandfather. He had his own landscaping company, and he didn't play around just like that. So that reminds me of my maternal grandfather. I miss that old hardcore old school man.
Hardcore, man. Hardcore. Told you, I tell everybody, boy, my father was like a silverback gorilla. All right. He looked like one too, boy. Only thing missing was the fucking silver streak down his back. That's the only thing that was missing. He's like a silverback gorilla, boy. He played on fucking games.
Daddy.
Yeah,
I miss him
man.
so much.
Yeah,
I miss that. I miss him so bad. Even though I'm a grown ass man in my damn 50s, I still wish he would say, I could say, Dad, listen to this. Tell me what you think.
Absolutely. My father been dead 18 years, 2 months and 3 days. And it's like it happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't have none of this shit. I wouldn't be able to do none of this shit. I wouldn't, none of it, if it wasn't for that man. None of it. I mean, none of it. So I guess that's why that clock of him dying still runs in my goddamn head. I can't get it out of my head.
It's been 20 years. 20 years.
My head, man.
And 20 years. He died 3 days before his birthday.
Yeah.
And it just, I can still hear him though.
Yep.
I hear him in this ear and my drill sergeant in my other ear. You never get him. Techie will tell you, you will never get your drill sergeant. I don't care how old you are, how long you've been out of the military, how much rank you made. I'm like, damn, I'm a sergeant first class. I'm a senior non-commissioned officer. I can still hear him in my head. Are we gonna go to work today, Taylor? Are we gonna bullshit? You bullshit on your time. Guess how much time you got today? None. Exactly none. God damn it.
None.
Well, I'm about to peel off on you, brothers, man. I just want to come.
Peace, brother. Be safe, man.
Hey,
yeah, man. Brother Sigma, you gotta come through more often, brother. You gotta stop by more often, man.
Hey, man, you owe me a one-on-one, T.P.O.T, man. We gotta do a one-on-one for the end of September.
Whenever you want. Whenever you want.
I'll be back at my home base after September 15th. So we'll schedule something. But hey,
Okay.
brothers, I'm gonna tell you straight out, man. Hey, I'm out here in Seattle, and I'm from the Twin Cities, bro. I only been out for like 3 nights, and I got multiple chicks, man. They, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? Hey, meet me here, meet me there, bruh. The fucking continent of the United States is open to black men. But what's really scary, once you brothers get your passports, I got mine renewed this year, bro. It's that Moorish Empire that was ruling the world like 700 years ago. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be at the forefront of that shit. I'm telling you, brothers, get your passport stamped, get your all your paperwork in order so you can move around this country and move around this globe. The time is now. Hey, I got an Indian broad. She's a doctor on deck tonight. And I got a Vietnamese broad. She's a nurse. Blow me up right now. I've only been here 4 days. And I'm off to Portland tomorrow. There's no limit to what you can do as black men. And stop listening to your mother. If you can just silence that voice and you can conquer her, there's no limit. But with that, I'm out tonight. Hey, T.P.O.T.
Please. Hit me up
we
when
got
you get
that
back,
101.
man.
After
Hit me.
September 15th, we're going to do that, all right?
All right. Hit me up when you get back, brother.
All right, you
Peace.
brothers have a good night.
All right,
Peace,
peace
peace,
out.
Taylor,
be safe.
And,
Enjoy
and the
yourself.
other brother, what's the other brother on the panel tonight?
Oh man, I hit you up a while back,
Brother
man, a long
T.P.O.T.
time ago. Just keep it techie, man.
Keep
I
it
was trying
techie.
to,
All right.
yeah, I think you needed like some help with a website or something at one
Oh, I've
point,
been
and I
killing
had
that
hit you up.
website.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Hey,
That's good. That's good.
HTML. I mastered HTML. I mastered CSS.
Okay,
For the next 3
that's what's up.
months, I'm working on my JavaScript. But yo, you and
That's
I,
what's up.
we gonna connect in like about 6 months because I'll have that comfort level where I feel like, hey, I'm at a moderate level. But we're gonna connect, bro. Y'all have a good night. All right.
All right,
All right, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, Brother
Peace.
Sigma. Brother Sigma on the West Coast, boy, out there chasing, not chasing hoes, chasing, I don't know, doctors.
Went out there to had to go to Fort Lewis, TDY, out to Fort Lewis in '93. The train up an artillery unit that was about ready to go on rotation. They were about ready to go over to the Middle East, and I was part of that training team that had to go over there and work with them on gunnery. That was like, damn, do it ever stop raining in this goddamn place? You know, it wasn't like pouring rain. You know what I mean? It just rained. You know, I'm like, now I know why everything out there was so damn green. Shit. I mean, dude, it would not stop raining. What's up? What's up, Techie?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm just hanging out. I gotta run in a couple minutes anyway.
I gotta run too.
Yeah,
me too.
I sent you a text message.
I'm gonna end
Oh
this
yeah, I
soon.
answered.
But let me ask you something.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I don't know, maybe.
Let me ask you something, brother KIT.
Yeah, what you got?
Do you feel like brothers like you are the exception or the norm?
I ain't getting.
I don't think I don't look at myself as the exception because I mean I look at myself as a normal guy, and I think it's because of where I grew up and the way I think. It's a lot of guys that I grew up with that I know think like me. They may not have had fathers in their life or whatever growing up like I did, but still think like me. And what I mean by that is it's almost like and I know a lot of people hate this word, but it's almost like a hustler's mentality. That's something that's stuck with me from where I'm from. Always trying to figure out a way to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's just the decisions that separate us at the end of the day. Like it's a lot of guys, man, that was way smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to, I don't know, down myself or whatever, because I do consider myself smart. You know what I'm saying? It's just the decisions that I made, made the difference. You know what I'm saying? And also um looking at all the different opportunities. That's another thing. If you're not presented with opportunities a lot of times, then you'll end up, you know, uh I don't know, just not knowing at the end of the day that there is that opportunity, those other opportunities out there. So down there, it most people, they don't see all these different opportunities until you actually leave the state. And that's the same for my case. If I hadn't joined the military, that's why I said that in my statement in the chat. If I hadn't left the state of Louisiana, then I don't know where I would be, at the end of the day, because I'm not saying I was some gangster or something, but I mean I was, around those crowds. Let me just say it that way. And I mean, I even worked in clubs. I worked as a security guard for one of the most dangerous clubs in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Um, but it's just all about those opportunities, um, and I don't know, the decisions that you make to look into them. Because if like I said, um, I joined the military, that brought me to a whole, or it just opened my eyes to a whole lot more that's
Same
out
here.
there, from the little town that I grew up in. I know a lot of people, I go back home every now and then. I haven't been home since the pandemic, but I see guys that, didn't take the route I took, or, you know, um, just kind of tried to figure out what they were going to do down there, and didn't work out too well for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just those decisions, and I don't know. I know I keep going back to that, but that's just how I feel about it. It's just the decisions that you make, or the things that are presented to you that don't know or out there, and a lot of people don't see those opportunities, so to speak,
You
and
know,
take advantage of them.
yes, yes. Some
Yeah,
people see them and don't take advantage of them. Like,
yeah,
and we talking about exceptions and arguments based off of exceptions tonight. And I think that the people mostly, okay, mostly, especially when you're talking about people, when you're talking about the rank and file person, because most of us are just average, right? I mean,
mhm,
we don't have $1 billion. Most black people, we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. Most of us weren't. You know, um, uh, uh, a very significant amount of us were born into poverty, and then you have another significant amount of us who were born in just working class people.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I came up, my parents were just working class people. I mean, my father had a landscaping business. My mom was a bus driver. Like, I didn't come from all this money, where I was just rich, and my first car was a fucking BMW and shit. That wasn't my life. All right. I came from working class people. And a lot of us, that's where we come from. But I think our parenting, the people in our lives, the influences around us, those are the things that push us to take those opportunities. Because if we don't have a certain type of backing, a certain type of background, or certain type of influences, those opportunities can be right in front of us and we don't take them. Why? Because we weren't trained to take them. We weren't counseled to take them. We didn't know what they were. You know,
mhm.
we thought those opportunities were only for white folks. Whatever we had around us influencing us, a lot of us, we missed out on opportunities. And sometimes the opportunity was just making a decision to go or not to go, to sign up or not to sign up, to apply or not to apply. Sometimes our opportunities were decisions that we made or we didn't make. And I think all of that comes from your parenting, the people in your life, because see, it's hard for you to be an exception or do exceptional shit when you don't have exceptional people around you influencing you. It's harder. It's not impossible, because I know a guy who was one of 9 children to a baby mama that smoked crack, and he became a molecular biologist. So it's not that it's not that it's impossible, but it's just harder. It's easier for you if your mom don't smoke crack, all right, and your dad don't shoot heroin, and it's 20 of y'all. It's
Your
it's
dad
just,
ain't a pimp named Slickback.
yeah, your dad ain't a pimp, all right. I mean, it's just easier for you. It's going to be harder for you to become that molecular biologist if mom smoked crack. It's 9 of y'all living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Because you don't have anything influencing you to make those decisions. I say this all the time, and then I guess we can wrap up, right? When we talk about exceptions, right? If you had bad parents and you turned out to be a bad person, your parents probably had a lot to do with that. But likewise, if you had bad parents and you became a good person, your parents had very little to do with that. And also on the other side, if you had good parents and you became a good person, your parents probably had a lot to do with it. But if you had good parents and you became a bad person, your parents probably didn't have a lot to do with that. Now, I know people will hear the, but I go back to the brother who he came from 9 children. His mom smoked crack and did heroin all at the same time, but he became a molecular biologist. He is an exception. He is an outlier. He is not the rule. He is not someone that you can stand on and say, oh, well, his mom smoked crack and there's 9, 10 of them in a 2-bedroom apartment, so, you can do it. He's not the person to stand on and say that. He's not, because he is a statistical exception. All right? Everybody else in that fucking house is kind of a statistical norm. And that's what people don't like. You know why? Because a lot of us, we came from that shit. A lot of us came from it. And that's like with anything we talk about up here. A lot of times, man, we're describing motherfuckers' lives, man. I know, because, I talk about these old mamas and I talk about abuse and shit like that. I get emails every time I do a stream about that. I get emails where people be like, X, man, I listened to your show last night, man, and I cried. I cried because it was like you was living in our fucking house. You explained everything that went on in our house when we was a kid, like you was there. A lot of times we're explaining people's lives, man, and unfortunately, a lot of us are not exceptions. A lot of us are not exceptional. We're just a fucking norm. And I think that bothers us more than anything else. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I'm exceptional. I think I made the exception.
Yep.
But I don't think I'm exceptional.
No.
Even though I want to fib to myself sometimes and say, okay, out of the folks you came up with on Detroit's West Side, how many of them are somewhere doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Out of all I'm say 4, maybe 4.
Yeah,
4
and that's
or
why
5.
And that's why I relate all this to I always go back to IT. Because I always make this statement because it's 100% true. I mean, I wasn't the smartest coming out of high school when it come as far as grades go. I didn't do well on the ACT. You know what I'm saying? And in order to get into the university, I was going to have to take a lot of classes that were almost on a high school level, like English and certain things like that, um, in order to start getting into the area of study I was trying to get go to. And so I end up having to go to a trade school. And pretty much anybody could go to trade school. They was just trying to get the money, as long as you pass their tests. You know what I'm saying? That they had, that was, fairly easy. But the bar to get into the IT field seems like it's difficult, or high, very high, but it's actually not. And I believe that, I'm not an exception. Anybody, with some a little bit of analytical skills, some math, can actually get into this field and excel. Yeah, you do have to meet certain standards, like I was saying, some math, you know what I'm saying, but in most cases, you don't need much math to actually excel in this field. And I've always preached that, or told people that the level of education that you really need is kind of low. That's why these certifications are there. And Google is opening up where they're putting out a lot of certifications now, where you don't need college to actually get into the IT field. I keep saying the bar is low. It's not low. You still have to study and put in the work and get the skills, acquire the skills that you need.
Yeah,
But
you still got to know how to read and
anybody
write,
can do it.
Negroes.
Yeah,
Got to know how
yeah,
to read and write, Negroes.
yeah. And I've been making. I haven't made less than $100,000 on a job in the last what was that, 2011? Yeah, 2011. I haven't made less than $100,000 on a position that I've worked for in the IT field. And like I said, I wasn't the smartest. I didn't have the grades to go to college. Like a lot of people got scholarships and stuff. I didn't get scholarships. I wasn't one of those people that got scholarships and summa cum laude. And some of those people, that graduated with me with higher GPAs, and I'm not saying I'm better. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm not an exception, but anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? You just have to put in the work and the effort to actually succeed in it.
Yeah, well, what usually separates a lot of us from our, quote unquote peers. Well, let me say this. Let me back up. I want to piggyback off of what I said earlier. I think what often happens is, a bunch of black folks who group around each other, and you hear people talk about the things that they do, and how they go about life, and I think people get that feeling like, oh, this person thinks they're better than me. This person thinks they're better than us. And see, I don't really believe it's that. Because I don't think I'm better than other people. I just think I made some better decisions in life.
Better
Exactly.
decision making.
Yeah, I made some better
Exactly.
decisions. I mean, I'm not a better person. No, I just made some better decisions that kept me off of death row, kept me off of rock cocaine, kept me from sleeping
up
behind,
under a bridge.
yeah, up under a bridge.
Next to the boiler.
Yeah. Next to the boiler. I just made some decisions that kept all that shit from happening. That's all. And unfortunately, some brothers made some decisions that made that happen to them, man. Some of them made them decisions, man, and went off to the penitentiary and did 50 years. Some of them made those decisions where, now they walk in the street in a stupor because they let heroin and crack just ruin their mind. Some of them made that decision that kept them, living in mom's basement, even though they 45, And if it wasn't because of the decisions they made, it might have been the decisions that they declined to make, the lack of making a decision as well. So, you know, I don't want people to think that brothers think they better than other people, because I don't think a lot of brothers do. I mean, of course, some people do, you know, but they are the exceptions.
Yeah. Oh, I'm quick to tell people now saying on exception stuff. I'll tell you, I'm better than you. I done told people, man, I done said that more times in my life than I can count. So you think you better than me? Actually, yeah. I said, I don't think I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you, and I can prove it.
You are beneath me, Negro. Oh, shout out to brother Theo Wolf with the 25 cash app. I appreciate that, brother Theo. He said, I wasn't the smartest either. I just refused to give up. You guys are good examples of success. Salute. Appreciate that super chat, brother Theo. You know, when you drop $20 or more, you get this. A big coin drop on the platform. Appreciate that, brother Theo. That super chat. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it all comes down to decision making, man. I mean, you know,
but you gotta perform.
Yes.
You gotta perform. I mean, you can decide. You can make the decision to join the fill in the branch: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
You can. Techie can tell you. You got when you go to they got soldier of the cycle in basic training. That's you graduate. You had the top scoring matrix because everything they do is on the scoring matrix. And like you may have shot better at the rifle range than me, but I've done better at the first aid and PT than you. But you know, you just go all the way through. And I used to tell them all the time, even when I was in the military, oh, you think you better than me? Yeah, I am. I said, yeah, I am. Yep. I said, how old was you when you made E5? Well, I said, okay, stop. Answer the question. Yeah. I said, I just turned 22. I said, in 3 years, I made E6. I said, I made E7 in 10 years. Sergeant first class in 10 years. Was fourth in my class for ANOC. Oh, well, you was fourth. That means, yeah. I was fourth out of a class of 40. So am I closer to the top or the bottom? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you ain't even been to ANOC. You didn't have the score. You didn't have the support and NCOERs to even go to ANOC. Okay, me and you been in gunnery. You failed master gunnery. I got a 100 in master gunnery. You needed an 85 to pass, and you got an 82. I got a 100. So you goddamn right, I'm better than you. Is it the right? You know, is it? I mean, is it the okay? Man, look, you damn right, I'm better than you. I said I ain't saying I'm better than everybody, but I'm better than you. You damn right, I'm better than you. Now, does that mean I get the shit on you? No, of course not. It don't mean I get the shit on you. That's a totally different thing. I'm not trying to shit on you. You asked, was I better than you? And I told my answer is yes. In this field, I am better than you. I am a better artilleryman than you. And my 201 file proves it. Why is your 201 file so goddamn thin? You know what I'm saying? So, but some people, sometimes you just gotta bend your elbow and pat yourself on the back when you know you done put in the work and you motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? And you breaking that shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta, I ain't always walking around because, you know, I gotta cower down a little bit when Techie around and shit because he makes me look stupid with this computer shit, man. So, but the thing is, I know my lane. You know what I'm saying? I know my lane and I know my spot. You know, so when you think it? Yeah, actually I am. You know, I am.
You are beneath me, Negroes.
Yeah, I'm like, I am. And I tell dude, oh, just cause I said, dude, you've been in the pen 3 times. You got 3 kids by 3 different women. You ain't got your own house. You ain't got your own car. The last time you went to jail, you was on paper and went to jail for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle because you went to your mama's job, had a spare key, and took her car from work while she was at work, and you planned on bringing it back and parking it back in the parking lot of the damn Target. His mom was a manager at Target. So when she but nigga, you didn't even think, what's the odds of you getting back to the same parking spot that your mama parked her car in? See, Negroes don't even think that far. What are the odds that you was going to get back and park back into the same parking spot where your mama parked? Did you ever think, what if something happens while you're out? Which it did.
What if mom come out? What if mom want to come out to the car for lunch?
or she out there like, God dang, I forgot my such and such in the car.
Yeah, car gone.
And then she called the police and reported stolen, right? Police pull it over and your ass driving it, right? They don't know you, her son.
Nope.
Don't you see what I'm saying? There's the ones I'm telling you, I used to have heat with them when I lived on the east side. And they couldn't stand me. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck that you don't like me. I don't give a fuck that you let me grab a bill here. Now I'm looking at this bill. Okay, this bill here is $238. Tell me you like me. Damn, exit didn't change. Okay, tell me you don't like me.
It's still $238.
It's still $238, Negro. So what the hell you talking? Man, I don't give a fuck that you don't like me. You can't whoop me. You can't hate me. Because what am I supposed to be doing while you trying to do all this huffing and puffing and ass whooping? You on paper. You can't legally have a gun. I can. I got a motherfucking federal carrier's license. I can zap your ass right now and won't a damn thing happen to me. Nigga, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you.
Well,
I tell you what, keep talking so I can call a constable over here because I'm quite sure you behind on child support on one of them damn 3 kids. Keep talking. Keep talking. You standing in front of my house. They're my kids. They came from her, me and her. That's my car. That's my truck. That's hers. Nick, shut up, man. Let me get a constable online here. I know you behind on something.
I know you got some warrants.
I know you got something. I'm like, so am I better than everybody? Hell no. It's just some people I know that's better than me. Hell yeah.
You're better than him, no.
Yeah, but I'm better than you. That's all I be trying to get apart. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. At this point in your life, at this point in my life, I'm better than you. Say, can you walk past a police station right now and don't even flinch? Can a cop pull up on you now and you don't flinch? Can your baby mama come around the corner and you don't flinch? Fuck out of here, man. You scared to go to the mailbox. I'm running to the mailbox because somebody owe me money. That's the difference. I said, so I ain't better. I know I sound crazy as hell. I ain't better than everybody. I ain't better than that cat right there. But I'm telling that dude, but I'm better than you.
Man.
I'm better than you.
Well, before we go, one more shameless plug, folks. I know y'all getting tired of my shameless plugs, but I must do them. Catch me September 14th. I will be being interviewed by the good Dr. Anwar Dunbar. Has invited me to come down to his channel for an interview on Big Discussion 76, Science and Technology. You can check me out there September 14th. I believe we throwing down at like 7 or 7:30, I believe. I gotta hit the doc up and find out what it is. But yeah, you can catch me down there, Negroes. You better be there too. Y'all better come there. If I don't see y'all in the chat room, I'm coming to every single one of y'all damn houses. All right, and knock on the door and ask you why your black ass wasn't there. So check me out September 14th with the good Dr. Anwar Dunbar. We'll be down there chopping it up. He's going to be interviewing me We're going to be talking about some mechanical engineering and mechanics and mechanical technology, y'all. So it should be pretty interesting. Come on down there and check us out. But before that, I also will be getting interviewed by the one and only Red Sings the Blues. I will be down there this coming Sunday, folks. I will be down there, and that's another interview that I got invited to, you know, because I'm very popular, folks. I will be down there getting interviewed by Brother Red himself. That's going to be Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, down on the Red Sings the Blues channel. Get down there, man. Check out both of them brothers, man. Go ahead and subscribe like I have, and hit the bell like I have to Dr. Dunbar's channel and Brother Red Sings the Blues. And this week you'll catch old X down there, and 2 weeks from now you will catch me down on the Good Doctor's channel. So make sure you are there, because if you don't come to this interview, folks, I'm gonna come to all y'all damn houses too. So you're gonna have me at your house 2 times. If you don't show up to this interview at Red Sings the Blues, and you don't show up to Dr. Dunbar's interview, I'll be knocking at your door 2 times, every single one of you Negroes in the chat room. So bring your ass down there. Damn
Red
it.
Seen Us the Blues. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's he's a good brother.
Yeah.
He interviewed me a while back on tech. Yeah, he's a great young brother, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
and Dr. Dunbar, you know, he's on point with it as well. I gotta get with him because I want to get him on my channel as well. And I think he was talking about getting me on his channel. So yeah, both of those guys are great brothers. And
Oh yeah.
you
Well,
know,
everybody
they put
has
out good
seen.
information.
Yeah, they've seen Dr. Dunbar on here, because you know I do I do
Okay,
the Ask the Doc series. So y'all have seen Dr. Dunbar on here.
Can you put the link to that Red Seen Us the Blues? Because I put it in the search bar and I hit enter, and it's coming up with everything but what I saw on your screen.
Okay. Said everything but
I'm serious, and I put the SINAS, but it's coming up with Red Sings
yes, Red Sings the Blues. That's him.
with the blue with red
Yep.
head with a headset.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
him.
that's him.
That's him.
Yep. I just put the link in the back chat.
Okay,
too,
I got it. I got it. Thanks.
That's him.
I got it. Who this cat? Where he from?
I have no idea, even though I'm
Yeah.
subscribed to his channel and I listen to him. I have no
Yeah.
idea where
I don't know exactly where he's from either. Yeah, he's a young cat though, man. Like super young and very knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? And what he talks about. So I enjoy his content, you know.
Yeah, I have no
Can
idea.
I ask y'all one question before we leave? Ain't no right or wrong answer.
Go right ahead, Brother Taylor.
You cool, Techie?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just asking. I mean, because if he say nine, then I wasn't gonna ask, you know. Then this ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about right here. Nothing. What do y'all think about what's his name trying to make that the money with the museum, wanting to make a museum in California? Then he got the money and then decided, then gonna say, now okay, now that y'all got that, now I need y'all to give me some more money to find a place to buy some land.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I
ain't got a dog in the fight.
A lot of these,
I'm set on Black history, and anybody that know me know I can probably get. I done gave out a lesson or two and shocked the fuck out of a whole bunch of people here on the internet. But
a lot of these people are just full of crap. All right, let's be honest, man. Let's call it what it is. A lot of these people are full of crap.
Well, I ain't trying to smoke the brother. I just wonder what because I confide in y'all. See, because if I didn't confide, it's a whole bunch of Negroes on the internet that I wouldn't even think about asking what I just asked y'all to.
I think that, you know, the premise is noble. To do this, I think it's a decent thing if it's for real. But see, what often happens is these things they put them up as being for real, but really they're not. All right. I often say we are people of hope. We look for hope, and people sell us hope. And once you get us to buy hope, you can get us to buy other shit. You can get us to donate. You can get us to buy your t-shirts, your baseball caps, your shoes, your candles, your bullshit that you put in jars and say it's magical elixir and also kind of foolishness. So once you have sold us the hope, it's not hard for you to sell us other shit. And by sell, I mean donate, whatever, you know? And a lot of people peddle hope. They're hope peddlers. They are hope peddlers, and we are in the market for hope. So I'm not surprised that he was able to get the money. And I'm also not surprised that now he needs more money. I'm not surprised. That's all.
So, because I'm just wondering if he don't make the target. All right, he made the 7 million. So if he don't get the money he want for the land, is he going to give the people they 7 million back? Go ahead, Techie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you good. Nah, what I was gonna say was, I mean, this dude came out with and everybody pretty much know this if you know Tariq Nasheed. Well, a lot of people don't, but before he got on this kick that he's on now, he used to write a whole bunch of books back in the day, like the art of macking. They used to be
Carrie hit me to that.
Yeah, they used to be circulated around the hood or whatever. Everybody trying to be a Mac or a player and all this stuff. So this dude's been hustling for a long time. I'm not saying that's what he's doing now, but he is like what a quote unquote type of hustler. So I'm not saying it's not positive what he's trying to do now, but you also have to take into account to, you know, his past. Like some people throw around the word, you know, track record, or the 2 words track record. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean it's the same with Umar, you know, how long he's been trying to put this school together. I mean, I it's a positive thing what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And
So the path to hell was paved with good intentions.
Yeah, it's just I don't know how long is it going to continue to keep going. And then also it makes you, and then to be honest, in my mind, how long it took Umar, which he's still trying to go with this, you know, it makes you question other people that are trying to do something similar. And this museum, yeah, it's a positive thing. It's a great idea, but it brings up those. It makes you wonder if this is all just to get some money and keep going. And that's the thing. Umar may in the next couple of years may open up the school. I don't know. You know, we don't know, but just I'm using that as just an example. I'm not trying to down the brother. Oh, go ahead.
I try not to judge their intentions.
Yeah, I try not to think negative.
Yeah, I try not to judge their intentions, but sometimes it just seems like when people do this shit, it's just poorly executed. You know, it's not so much as the intentions, because I don't know what's inside the brother's head, but you know, the execution is usually public and you see it, and you're like, what the hell are you doing, man? Because you know it's public. You know, his thoughts are not public. You know, you don't know what the brother thinking. You don't know what he got going on in his mind as far as the money's concerned. But
That's
you
true.
do see the public. You know, you see the execution of the plan or the lack thereof. You see that in the public. So that's going to be judged. All right, because that is public. Like I said, the execution or the lack thereof is public. You don't know what the brother is thinking, but you can see what he's doing or not doing. And I think that is up for scrutiny, especially if you're a person who has contributed to said project.
Yep. And I'm one of these type of people that if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best to make sure I do it within the time. And I don't know if he gave a deadline or whatever, but I'm not saying that about his situation, but I'm saying I'm just speaking on me. If I say I'm gonna do something, if I'm gonna be somewhere, if I'm a provide something to you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure I put whatever aside that can distract me and go through and do what I said I'm gonna do. Because all you got is your bars and all you got
Well,
is your word. You know what I'm saying? Your
No, you're
bars and
right.
your
yeah.
word. So
My balls and my word.
Yeah. Well, you
and
talk
so
about intent and intentions now, you know,
yeah,
because you are well intent. You're intending on doing this. All right. You're intent on doing this. And, you know, you try not to doubt these brothers' intentions, but see their actions that you see and or you don't see, you know, it makes you wonder like what's going on, what are you doing, especially if you, like I said, if you contributed. Now if you're a person that haven't given them any money, you ain't really got shit to say because you ain't got 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got
right.
5 on the building, you ain't got 5 on the school, so no matter what he do, it doesn't concern you. Your money didn't go into it. You're just pretty much part of the peanut gallery now because you're on the outside saying, oh, when he's going to build the school with money that I didn't send. You know, that's basically
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah.
All
You're
right.
right.
Yeah. Now, if you somebody that contributed money, because I've donated to brother, because I know Dr. Umar. All right. Full
Mm-hmm.
disclosure, I know the brother.
Yeah, I
I
remember you said that a
yeah,
while back.
I know him. I've met him. I've interviewed him in real life. He's been on my show quite a few times. All right. He's been on my show quite a few times, you know, because T.P.O.T, this is what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've donated, you know, I've donated money and I don't talk shit. You know, I'm just playing a wait and see, but I have spoke to him and I've told him like, you know, I have doubted you, Doc. You know, I
Out of
told him straight up the
places,
last time we talked.
why did he select out of all places the tax structure? I'll show you how far I went to look into it. The tax structure of where he chose this spot. The building code, the zone, the condition of the building when it was closed and why it was closed on top of the tax structure. Why? Look, I'm a goofball ass guy that runs an impound yard and a specialized transportation company. And I done that footwork in 30 minutes.
Mm.
Why did you pick this spot?
I don't
You know
know
what I'm
what
saying?
he.
It's like you're intending to fail. You know, like I'm going to pick this spot because I can't do it. And then when I don't do it, I'm going to blame the system and everybody else for not doing what the hell. Dude, you picked this spot.
Oh, if he come off like that, I hope this. I hope
No,
that's not what it is.
I'm thinking out
Hope
loud.
that's
I'm
not what
letting
it is.
my sounding
Yeah,
board, you know.
I hope that's not what it is. I hope he don't come a
Okay,
year,
but
2 years from now
everybody
talking
is
about.
why did you pick has anybody in the interviewing thing that's talking to him about it do y'all know? Because I don't know. I'm not
Mm,
being funny. I don't know. Has anybody said, why did you pick this spot?
mm. Maybe that's a question to be asked. Maybe I got to get him back on here, man. I gotta get the doc on here because he will come on my stuff. I mean, he's been on my
Sure. I
he's
mean,
been on my channel
I mean,
multiple times. I need to
Tech,
get him
you
up here
think
and
that's a
ask him
fair
some
question?
questions.
I mean, is that
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's you
It's
think
a
that's a
fair
fair
question.
question?
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
yeah. I got to get him up here and ask him
I
some
mean, with no
questions.
caveats on my part. Y'all know how I get down.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and whatever your answer is, I'm gonna go, okay, but then we know. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna try to get him up here. I'm gonna try to get him up here before the year's out because you know he is a busy guy. He's running around. He does all
Sure,
kinds of
sure,
shit.
of course.
I am gonna call because I do have his phone number. All right, so I'll hit him up and see if I can get the doc up on here and maybe we can you know, find out what the hell's going on. You know, like what's going on. That's all. I'll tell him it won't even be long, Doc. It'd be like a 30-minute interview. You know, we just gonna ask like 5 solid questions, but you have to answer them.
That's the
You
only
must answer.
question I got. I don't care
You gotta
about
answer 'em.
the Vegas trip. I don't care
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the hotel. I don't care about the chick. I don't care about setting standards for. I don't care about none of that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I
I
don't care
don't.
about when I talk to him.
I
I
just
don't
want to
talk
know
to him
why'd
about
you
none of
pick
that shit.
that spot? Why?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to get him on here. I'm gonna try to see if I can get him on here within the next month or two. You know, maybe I'll hit him up tomorrow or something like that. You know, try to get him on because he will come on T.P.O.T. He
I
will
believe
come. Yeah, he's been on here. Umar's been on my channel about 3 times since I've been doing this. Since I've been doing this YouTube shit, and he came on. He came on one time when I was in radio, and I actually interviewed him in person one time. I got footage. I got footage of me with Dr. Umar, and I mean, I used to go to his seminars when he came down here in like South Carolina. You know, I've been to his stuff. You know, like I said, I've sat down, I've chopped it up with the man more than once. Yeah, I'll see if I can get him on here, man. It's been a
man.
while since he's been on here. I don't
I'm
think he's
trying to
been on
get
here
an
since last
interview.
year.
I'm trying to get an interview with my ex battalion executive officer, Colonel Allen West.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I figure
It
I was
might
trying to
come.
use
Let me tell you something,
me
brother.
being one of his soldiers that he made.
Brother Taylor. I'm telling you, do not think that people will not come on. I mean, I used to think that too.
He was my executive officer.
They were exactly. That's what I'm saying. People will come on. Sometimes just that time doesn't allow. But I have had many people on here that people are like, damn, you had him on, you had her on, you had them on. Yes, they will do it. We in that age now, especially now.
Yeah, because
Now,
I ain't into that fuckery
yeah,
now.
we in that age now. So I'm telling you, if I guarantee you can get him on. I guarantee. I bet you can get him on. I bet you can get him on.
I hope you're right.
And I'm gonna see the shit too because I'm subscribed to your channel. So,
And I can hear him now. But you know what, Gunny Taylor? You need to cut out with all the expletives so much. I mean, look, I ain't your XO no more, and you ain't chief of fire and battery under me no more. But dang it, clean your voice. He'll probably be telling me I need to clean it up.
I'm telling you, you probably can get him on, man. And
I
I see,
respect him. I have a lot of respect for him.
I
Even
see y'all.
before when we were in uniform, I had a lot of respect for
Yeah,
him.
you probably can get him on. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And I see y'all going in on brother Umar and shit in the
Can't see
chat
the
room.
chat. I'm looking at something else. I'm
don't
sorry.
don't go in on brother Umar too hard, man. I think his intentions are good. I just think his execution at times
Hey,
leave a little to be desired.
I'm sorry.
hey,
Let
brother
me
Nick,
switch back because I ain't even see it. Huh?
Was that the colonel that said something about going through the fire with a gasoline can?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's
I
him.
remember. I remember because I think he was. I'm trying to remember if I was out or
Yeah,
if I
because
was in.
he was a congressman in Florida.
Okay.
God dang it. I got to take this call, y'all.
All right.
Okay.
Peace, brother Taylor.
Peace.
Yeah, brother Nick always working like 24 hours a day and shit. He constantly stay working. But I'm about to wrap this up anyway. I appreciate the brothers coming through, man. As always, brother KIT, you know you're my boy. We don't have any debates planned, but we have a big one coming up. I don't want to say too much because it's like in the mix. We're gonna do it. I think. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, we got. That's gonna be the 22nd. Yeah, we got a little something nice planned for you folks. Me and brother SKC, we've been doing some stuff behind the scenes, and we putting something really nice together. It's going down on the 22nd. I don't want to talk about it too much because we're still working on because we're doing like a commercial and a promo for it. So I don't want to say too much about it, but look for it. It's coming. It's coming. And you're not just going to be able to see it on my channel. We're going to have the promo. We're going to be giving it out to other brothers' channel to play it as well. So just look for it. It should be coming down the pipe in the next few days. And I'm not gonna say too much, Negroes. All right. Just keep your eyes open. It's coming. And I'll be hitting a lot of people up, and I'll be sending them that promo because I want them to, like, when they do their live streams, run it one time, during your show, or maybe 2 times or 3 times or 5 times, how many times you want to run it. I'm going to send it to the brothers because I think it's going to be a big deal, and I think it's going to be nice. So with that being said, hey, as always, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the super chats, of course. But most importantly, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Just hanging out with us, man, participating. That's always more important, than the money. The money's nice, but I like y'all participation even more, man. The fact that y'all be here, y'all hang out on a Friday night. You could be any goddamn where on a Friday night, but you're here. And see, that means something to me. It may not mean anything to y'all, but it means something to me. All right? Because y'all could be anywhere in the world and y'all decide to sit and hang out with an old ass man who don't do nothing but talk shit. But here y'all are, god damn it. And I'm glad for y'all. I'm glad that y'all are here. I'm glad that y'all are around. And like I always say, man, I don't take y'all lightly, man. I never have, and I never freaking will. All right. All right. Brother KIT, any parting shots before we peel out of here?
Oh no, I'm good. I appreciate you letting me on again, T.P.O.T, and
Absolutely.
salute to the channel, man. And I guess I could say I wasn't trying to disparage Brother Umar. You know what I'm saying? I was just raising a question, or trying to answer the question. But shout out to you, T.P.O.T, man. I look forward to just let me know. Just send me an email,
Yeah.
give me a heads up or
It's gonna
something.
it's gonna
And
be
that
the
way
22nd. That's the date we're kind of shooting for.
okay.
But like I said, I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to
Oh
give it
yeah.
away what we're doing. But
Yeah.
we are working on it, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
working on it.
I got you. Yeah.
We
All right
working
then,
on it.
man. Peace out. Peace
My
out, T.P.O.T.
brother, peace, brother KIT. Yeah, man, brother KIT, man, that's my dude, man. I mean, that dude, man, he comes through for me so much, man, on these debates and shit like that. If it wasn't for him, a lot of times, these debates would be all fucked up. Brother KIT is always there for us, man. Always there for us. So, that's part of the T.P.O.T fam right there. Absolutely. Yeah, but like I was saying though, y'all, it's the 22nd we are shooting for this project. And we think you Negroes are going to like it. We think you Negroes might just like it. Don't know. Because Negroes are fickle. Negroes are fickle. They are fickle. But once again, man, I appreciate good folks out there and the good folks up in here for hanging out, man. Like I said, man, I never take y'all lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. A shout out to brother Nick Taylor, and the Hood Conservative was here. So if you missed him, you might want to rewind it back. He was here for a short while in the beginning. And also shout out to my man, brother KIT, the official timekeeper of the T.P.O.T debates. Once again, another reminder, Sunday, I will be at Red Sings the Blues, and I expect all you Negroes to be down there too, god damn it. I expect it. I better see y'all in that damn chat room this Sunday. All right? All right. So, with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words, like a always do. Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. The protester.
Dark Exodus.
Open your mind.
You know.
Yeah, X.
You know.
Dark Exodus.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand? Open your mind.
Dark X. Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
exodus, dark exodus, dark exodus, dark exodus.
Only, from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.